All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Living Better podcast. We're super excited today because we have Dave Leduc, World Lethwei Champion. For people who don't know what Lethwei is a discipline a little bit like Muay Thai, but you have headbutts and no gloves, so it's really full contact. And he's with his lovely wife, Irina. And we're going to talk about a lot of things today. So
thanks for having us, guys.
Well, thanks.
Of course, thanks for coming.
Appreciate it. I love the studio.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So anyways, we're excited. So
Yes.
let's dig into your crazy life, starting off with Dave, your upbringing, a little bit about your story, how you got into Lethwei, which is fighting. So for people that don't know, maybe I can put a video.
Yeah.
so
I
they
wonder
can
how many
see you.
people watching the Living Better podcast knows about fighting and watches it. It's a bit crazy, a bit different than most people. Even my friends that are professional fighters, they say like, what the hell are you doing? Right? They wouldn't do it. So it's basically a striking art with all limbs allowed, like punches, elbows, knee strikes, kicking strikes, and the most controversial part is the headbutts allowed, right? And it's bare knuckles, so you don't have gloves.
Yeah.
So it's very it's unforgiving, right? They called it the unforgiving cousin of Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Because in Muay Thai you have, I called it big pillow gloves. I respect the art. It's just it's not as brutal as Lethwei, right? So it's pretty cool. So to make a long story short, I was my coach showed me some articles of magazines back in the days of Burmese fighting, and for those who don't know, it used to be called Burma, the country, and where Lethwei originated, and I was like, oh, I want to do this. That looks cool, right? I always like to be like a black sheep and be different. I don't like.
Yeah, for sure. You're you.
Yeah. So I knew that it was gonna be cool, and everything in my life I like to be a bit different. So that was it, and then eventually made the move to go to Asia. But the first stop was in Thailand, and that's where I met Irina. We're going to get into this, but the first stop was there because it was easier. We spoke a bit off air, right? Yeah. Why? It was just easier to get into Thailand than to get into Burma because it was militarized for so many years. It just got democratic recently. So I'm like, I'll go see my friends in Thailand, go train, but my goal was to cross over as soon as I could in Burma and Myanmar to fight Lethwei.
Wow.
Yeah.
So to go back a bit, so you're a teenager, you turn into an adult, you want to get into fighting. So you're from Gatineau. That's where we met in the bar scene.
Yeah.
So that's when I remember meeting you for the first time. And then I was watching your stuff on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, now he's in Thailand. Now he's doing this, and
it's been probably at least, if not 10 years, like we've known each other for at least 5-6 years for sure.
Yeah. So how did that started? Like, how did you go from fighting here to wanting to be a world champion, which is crazy?
Well, I guess it's my upbringing. I always I wanted to stand out, like to my family, to my parents. I felt like I was maybe like repressed. I was like, I don't know. So I felt like I want to stand out. And
how so? Like, I don't want to talk about things you don't want to talk about. No, but comfortable.
There's nothing uncomfortable. I felt like maybe I was the black sheep of the family because my sister is a very good, very intelligent girl, and I felt like maybe I was very turbulent as well, so I was put aside a little bit. So I'm like, oh, let me stand out. Like I was almost got kicked out of school, and you couldn't get snow, Spogget Sud, right?
Wow.
School in Gatineau here. I almost got kicked out because I was talking a lot. I wanted to move. Probably a lot of ADHD. Probably.
Yeah.
So. And then when I saw it, I'm like, that's a way for me to stand out, right? So I said, I want to be world champion, but not in any sport, in the most fucking badass one.
So even at a very young age, were you always interested in fighting?
Yeah, grappling. Even when I played baseball, I was grappling with the boys. I wanted to fight. Yeah. I love fighting.
You just love fighting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's innate, right? In us, we like to wrestle, like young cubs, right? We like to
test shit out a bit.
I even test shit out on Irina sometimes.
Do you like that, Irina?
Guess who wins?
Oh, there you go.
No, but she actually said she liked it. I did triangle choke, right? Like,
okay.
And you're like,
well, I wanted to try the buzz, from the choke, but it didn't work. No, it didn't work for me. I don't know. I have a very strong neck.
That was a rear naked choke. I wanted to choke you. That was in Austria.
Oh no, I was trying the triangle choke on you.
Yeah, and then I'm like, let me try it on you. But
said, choke me.
I couldn't choke her because I was like, I'm gonna like
You're
I'm
gonna,
gonna
like-
rip the windpipe.
Yeah.
It's not,
C'est ça.
like, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel the buzz? Did he ever choke you outside of the bedroom?
No, not
We
outside
never
the bedroom.
fought as much, so
No.
that was consensual. She's like, okay, choke me now.
Yeah.
Because I heard it feels good. And
I
was
heard
so curious.
that too, for sure.
I felt it today, by the way. I got wrestled today, and we were choking, and I moved out, but at the end I felt the choke, and it feels fucking good. It's like euphoria.
Seriously?
It's euphoria. Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're like
Okay.
it's when you get up too fast from sitting
Yes,
down.
you're like
Yeah,
lightheaded.
it's similar
like,
to that.
okay.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, it's fine. It's just for the
Yeah.
audio.
It's similar to that getting up, and you're like, ooh, like it's like a buzz. Yeah. So one day you'll feel it.
Yeah.
Guys, don't try this at home. People
No.
die. People
Yes.
die.
Yes.
People actually die doing this.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
of course. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, what you do, is there any danger to die from that if you got
There's
a
been
big,
deaths back in the days.
Okay.
When it was like in sand pits and people I don't know, they were just like, I don't want to say like the word, I have a hard time saying it, but like they were just going at it in the pocket, just swinging at it. Like it's not very technical, right? It was just like, let's swing, and then somebody got knocked out. Probably it was not like, but nowadays it's more like people treat it as a profession, so people can see, okay, now you can get out of poverty in Myanmar, you can get out of the slums by fighting and becoming like a national star, right?
Yeah.
So people are like treating more seriously,
yeah,
and
exactly.
there's no deaths anymore.
No.
But there's injuries, and I had my share, right? And
Yes.
Yeah.
What was your worst injury?
The one I felt like in the movie with Irina after my first fight, it was and there's nothing recorded of that. It was off in the hotel after that. I never said that to anyone, but that was a very hard, like, striking moment for me. Was after my first fight. And it was my second Lethwei fight.
Yeah.
It was a very back and forth fight, and you can tell me what you remember of it. But I used to kick in the chest, and then the other guy grabbed my leg and sweeping my other leg with my own, right. So, and after a while, I felt like my nerves were like damaged,
Okay.
and I was limping after the fight, and it was it was a draw. The fight was a draw, but he got me with good leg kicks.
Yeah.
And then at night when the adrenaline rubs off, holy shit! I felt like, okay, I need my leg. So I got like, okay, let me do a. Can you pour me a cold bath, like ice water bath?
Yeah.
And she had to help me go back in the bath.
wow.
Right?
Oh, shit.
That was right.
It was very cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just say that like you feel like a little boy, right? Like
Yeah.
you're naked and
That's
like,
like,
okay,
oh my
hey,
gosh.
please put me in the bath.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a roller coaster of emotion when you're fighting, right? And
Yeah.
you go super deep in your like rawest feeling of like
Survival. Like,
have you guys ever done bungee?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
you know when you
Yes.
bungee, like you're on the edge and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
your body's telling you not to do it.
Not to do it, but
Right?
you have to, and
Yeah.
it's like you're fighting with your mom. Oh yeah, 100%.
And you're
Pretty
like,
crazy.
your body doesn't want to do it.
No.
You have to consciously, okay, I'm gonna fucking
Dope.
jump.
I
right?
know. Yeah.
So same as fighting, when you're before you go in the ring, you're like, you don't want to go. The guy, not only that, he wants to hurt you. He wants to kick your ass,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And he trained for months to
Yeah.
punch you out. And so it's like so why am I doing, like,
Yeah, of course.
you have to like, you know what? Let's just do it. You have
Yeah.
to block it.
Just block it.
Yeah.
So to go back,
Good.
we're going back and forth.
Yeah.
So that's fun. But so your trainer shows you things, and then you want to stand out. You want to make a name for yourself. You're like the black sheep, like you said. So you decide to go on this adventure and go to Thailand, right? So you go over there, and then you start training. And how do you go into Lethwei from there?
Okay, so basically, it's extremely tied to Irina, and it wouldn't happen without her, I believe, because prior for meeting her, I went to Thailand alone, and I fought in prison fight, which was
that was that was really cool. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, this
That's
was
exciting.
for those people who don't know. It's you're fighting inmates that were previously fighters before, and if they win the fight, they get sentence reduction.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
I hope you won.
So they're motivated as
Okay.
fuck. Like they want to kick your ass.
The name of the event is called Fight for Freedom, literally.
Wow.
And there's been a couple documentaries on it.
Okay.
Even recently there was a movie, but it's not based on that. It was Prayers Before Dawn. It was
Okay.
it's a real story of another guy, a British guy that went to the box. He was only boxing in Thailand in prison. But we actually fought with all the limbs except headbutts, obviously.
Yeah,
But,
of course.
we fought Muay Thai fights
Okay.
in the prison. in the courtyard.
Yeah,
and
how
there
was
like,
that?
fucking insane.
Oh my God.
There was 800 inmates that are all there for hard crimes. You know, it's a maximum security prison. So
Wow.
you enter the place and is like they take away your phone. It's fucking insane. And then you see all those eyes, like people that watching you, like you think you're gonna get stabbed.
100%.
But
Yeah,
tell
for
them
sure.
about the music.
Oh fuck! That's how cool it was, because you go there, you feel like okay, I'm training, I'm warming up with the inmates, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
there for rape, murder,
yeah.
drug dealing.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
my guy was a drug dealer, but also like he did some other shit, like probably injured a lot of guys too. But he was there for 12 years for methamphetamine trafficking,
Okay.
and but he was prior for that. He was a fighter and he fought. High level, but then he did some bad decisions, right?
Yeah.
So then we go there, and I just see this fucking. It's open air courtyard, like you know, like
Yeah.
So the ring is set up in the middle of the courtyard,
I know.
and there's chairs, and I go. So you're gonna go warm up there. So I go there, and then I start hearing music. What kind of music do you think it was?
Screamo, like metal, screamo shit. Right?
No.
What was it?
Backstreet Boys.
No way!
I
Who
wanted.
chose that shit?
I don't know. And it was a guy singing it like, "You are my fire."
No way!
Like a Thai guy?
Yeah, it's a Thai guy with a big accent.
So it's supposed to be super badass, and that ruins it all.
And then I'm like, "You are my fire." Like,
Seriously.
so I was
Too
like,
funny.
that was funny. That was funny.
So the crowd was all inmates.
They were all inmates. No, nobody was allowed outside of inmates, and
Okay.
so they had to have a good
Beside you
behavior.
and
Yeah.
Irina was all
No, she wasn't there.
No,
No, this
not
was
yet.
before
Okay,
they
yeah,
met.
all right.
Yeah, so I went with my Turkish brother, Mert. I don't know if he's gonna watch it, but we were there, like both of us, just we knew anybody.
Yeah.
And when the fight, most of the other guys all lost. Like out of 10 fights, only 2, me and another guy won. So it was pretty insane.
Wow.
But I'm telling you this because when we met, which we're gonna have to go back a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
we'll go
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth
Yeah, yeah.
anyways. Yeah,
well,
it's a crazy life story.
we had a big moment. Well, we had a big moment of like what we're gonna do, right? So, okay, let me wind up.
It's,
Okay,
it's a long
okay.
story.
Let's organize
So
it.
prison fight was in 2014.
Yeah.
Since then, there's never been an event inside a prison. It's
Okay.
been like they stopped it. It was in part partnered with the Thai Correctional Department of Thailand. So
Wow.
it was legit. And but then time passed by, and then I go back to Canada, get some shit done, come back.
Yeah.
And then when I come back, that's when I'm like I sell everything. I just okay, let's go live in Asia.
Okay.
And then tell me if I'm wrong. So after that, you come.
Yeah.
So how do we meet?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Are we
get there.
good? Yeah?
That's where we're at now.
yeah,
so.
you tell it.
Yeah.
Well, Dave reached out to me. I used to work at a company. It's called Montreal Blog. I don't know if you guys know
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had quotas. Every day I had to write 4 to 5 articles. So
Okay.
every day on my way to work, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to write about? So then I open my Facebook messages and I see a message from Dave. And he goes, I'm this professional fighter. I left everything behind to go and follow my dream to live in Thailand and fight here. And I thought, wow, what a great spin, because people loved, this fantasy of leaving everything behind
Absolutely.
and going.
Let me just say, at that time, I was like stalking her on Facebook
But that's-
while I was in Thailand.
Okay, but
Yeah.
How did you find her
She
out?
was like
Yeah.
this goddess. Like I saw her pictures. She was like, I was in Thailand. So
and you were like, who's this gorgeous, this beautiful
But I
lady?
actually, it had to happen like this, guys.
Okay.
If I like a week before, maybe a month before messaging her,
Yes.
I asked her friend request.
Yes.
Which she added, because she was like a public figure, so she just added everybody, right? You didn't really
Right.
check, right? Just
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
let's. but and then I'm like, I knew that if you're friends, you see the message, right? If
Yeah.
you're not friends, it goes in your spam.
In that, yeah.
So it was crucial that I
Add her
had-
first,
yeah.
so then it goes right directly.
I think I liked your picture first
Wait,
and
wait,
then you
yes.
messaged me.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's what happened. But anyway, so yeah, he reached out to me and
So she sees it.
I see it. I think, wow, it's perfect subject for an article. I write the article, it gets published, it's doing very well. And then, he started flirting with me.
So you
But
didn't know he's been creeping you for like how long before?
A
Like,
month.
A month. Okay.
No, I had
So
no
you didn't
idea.
know.
I had no idea.
So
But it
then,
worked.
Then
Yeah.
I said, like, let's keep in touch. And then
Okay.
it happened that she had 2 weeks off for Montreal Blog. She was supposed
Yeah.
to go on vacation. So I'm like, have you ever been to Thailand? No, it's my dream. So I dare her to come. I'm like, what are the chances, right? So,
Yeah.
And she.
But I actually I just want to say a point about relationships. I actually really liked when you said, because we were flirting back and forth and then Dave pulled away and said, that's like something for the boys who are listening to write down. Yeah, mindfuck, exactly. He pulled away and said, I really enjoy our conversations, but I just don't see how it's gonna work out. Like you're all the way in Canada, I'm all the way in Thailand. So let's just take a little step back. And I'm like, what? I can come to Thailand?
Yeah.
Like,
but she didn't say it. She's like, oh, really? Right? But probably.
In my head, I was like, what? He's not interested in me? He doesn't want to flirt with me?
Yeah.
So that got me very excited.
Yes.
So that was
It
good.
made you want him more, right?
Exactly. So
push and pull.
100%. 100%.
So yeah, that's what made me really like go for it. I'm like, okay. Target accepted.
Yeah. And I have 2 weeks off. Guess what? I am coming.
Exactly.
Challenge
That's
accepted.
pretty
I'm
much
on
what
my way.
And what strikes me is that like you didn't ask me, okay, Dave, pay for my ticket. She just took it. She booked it herself. She came herself. I'm like, okay, wow, she's
Of
like,
course,
really,
solid girl.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
really wants it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I made sure like at the time I didn't have. First of all, if you'd ask, I would have said I can't because I didn't have. At the time, I was fighting in Muay Thai because there's less money in Muay Thai than there is in Lethwei, and I was making like maybe $200 a month.
Oh wow.
It was really. I was living in actually it was half of the size of here. It was a really small room with a bed and a fan, and I was living there. And then I make sure like with the last money I had, like I bought a bottle of champagne. I bought what's your favorite chocolate? So I made sure to start learning Russian a little bit, made a little note. So when she came here,
you're this professional fighter. She comes all the way there. You have a shithole and $200.
Yeah, I know. She didn't see it. She didn't see it. Yeah. So
he was too shy to show me where.
I booked a room for her. So we stayed at this room. It was like
good
with
plan.
a pool. Yeah,
good plan.
Yeah. She actually never really saw that shit.
Yeah, when we went to pick up your clothes.
But it was the rent was like $10 a month. It was anyway. So what happened?
But it took a month of convincing me to come over, right? Like we were talking every day.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. I wasn't easy. Just
No, definitely not. And
for the record.
Yeah. And that's why I respected you so much because it could have easily went into like sexual like pictures.
Oh yeah.
There was none of it. It was really got to know each other. Like that was fun, and I really respected her for that because you know how many girls just like
100% just give themselves right away.
Yeah. Like the guys don't even have to work that hard for
Absolutely.
it. Yeah. So they
especially on Tinder.
Oh, true.
Bang.
True. C'est vrai.
Yeah.
So, fait que là, what
and
happened?
it made me realize that you're also a good guy.
True.
Of course, because he wasn't probably asking and all. That's all what he wanted. He really wanted to get to know you for you. So that's again genuine, real, not fake. Like so, right? That's awesome.
And then when she came here for like, it was like okay. First night we just I'm gonna live at that place, not in my shithole. She's like, you live here now. I'm like, okay, great, thank you. So I went to PP 2 days ago. Go PP 2 days after that, and then it was like love at first sight. So my goal was because she had a round trip ticket. I was like, I don't want her to go back.
Okay.
So I made sure that we have a lot of activities and a lot of stuff so she doesn't go back, and she didn't.
Amazing.
It worked out. Yeah.
So what happened? You left your place, whatever you had an apartment, fully
and then
furnished.
you just called your job and you were like, not coming back.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
You even did the déménagement, the movers, all by phone.
Yeah,
like,
everything was taken care of. Well, I still have my parents in Montreal, so they helped me a lot with that.
Okay.
And with the job, I just quit.
Good for you, girl. That's amazing.
And that was the stressful part. Especially when we started opening up more about like finances. I'm like, okay, you quit your job. Okay, well, I make $200 a month, right?
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And that's to answer your question. That's the moment. That was the most like the pivotal moment in her life, in her relationship. I actually have goosebumps thinking about it. I always have fucking goosebumps. But
that's awesome.
We're on the bed and she's sitting on my lap and we're both crying. You know, and guys, if you're afraid to cry, you
ain't no man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, real vulnerability is real man.
100%.
Vulnerability is the real strength.
Well, it's being authentic, 100%. Right? Just letting go, like you're
to your feelings, to your emotions, 100%.
You're hiding something otherwise, and you're not true to yourself. So anyway, we're both crying, and we're like, "Fuck." what we're gonna do. She's like, babe, I love you and I want to have a life with you. I want what we're gonna do with money, right? What we're gonna do. So because I get like a fight and then we go to an island and we spend the whole thing in one day, right?
Of course,
well,
yeah.
Beginnings,
you've been
right?
to Thailand and it's not cheap, right?
No,
like,
it's not that cheap.
especially
it's
in
cheap,
Phuket.
right?
You know, if you go like a meal, it could be $40
but
easy.
you want to go to nice restaurants.
That's it.
It adds up. Yeah,
it adds
sure.
up. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean, like
That's
people. I mean, by not cheap, I mean people think it's $1 per soup,
And it's not.
It's not.
Absolutely not.
Maybe it used to be, but not anymore.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no.
Maybe Bangkok, some places, yes, but not Phuket. It's a touristy spot.
Yes.
So anyway,
absolutely.
at the time we're still in Phuket, and then I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? I said, I promise you, I'm gonna find a way. I'm like, I don't know how, but I'll find a way, right? So my goal right away, as soon as we stopped talking about this, I was like, and I didn't sleep that night. I was like, whatever.
You're like,
right? She's
fuck, I need to get this shit together.
Yeah, I promised her I'm gonna make it happen,
Yeah.
but I don't know how, and she's counting on me, right? So I'm like, I didn't sleep.
Because
I'm
she
like,
dropped everything behind.
yeah. So I called.
Did you think that was crazy, or your friends or your parents thought like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
You don't even know
like,
him.
like-
You're abandoning your whole life."
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
told you you're crazy.
Yeah,
La
my
La Land.
friends were totally against it. They're like,
Yeah.
"You're crazy. What are you doing here?" And especially, I had 2 girlfriends that came to visit us, and they saw where we live, and they're like, "Good for you, I guess." You know?
Yeah. Flashback.
And look now,
they were in
eh?
Dubai.
Yeah.
Look
Fuck
now,
everybody.
eh?
Yeah, 100%.
No, but
Yeah.
it's a bit like the analogy of the monkey with the ladder, right? If you're if as soon as somebody goes in the ladder, they electrocute the ladder, and then over time, people are actually they're just like, it's a long story short, but basically the chimps are gonna bring them back down, even though they don't know why. You know, like look it up, guys. The chimp analogy with the electric, not you guys, but people watching.
People, yeah.
But where are you going with this?
Meaning that people were trying to pull you down. Don't go. Don't go.
Right.
Don't go
Yes,
there. You know, we're
exactly.
comfortable here. Don't go.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so easy to like, I don't want you to do it. I'm jealous, for example. I'm not saying that your friends were, but I'm saying
It's also scary for a lot of people to leave everything behind and just.
Well, you're
the fear of
changing
not
your
knowing.
whole comfort level for uncertainty.
Exactly.
A lot of
That's
people
what's
don't
scary
take
about it, right?
risks either. What
Exactly.
you did was an absolute big risk.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would be an easy way. Nope, fuck that. I'm not going.
Yeah.
You know, and
By
you did,
fear,
which is
by fear
amazing.
of trying to,
Yeah.
True.
So that's what happened. So then you went.
And then I called it after the night, the sleepless night.
Yes.
I'm like, the next day I'm calling all the promoters I know, because I'm like, that's one way to get money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oui.
get fights, right? Big fight.
Yeah.
So then I called the promoter of Prison Fight,
Yeah.
right? But he's like, Dave, I don't promote Muay Thai anymore. I'm like, what? Okay, what do you promote? I promote Lethwei. I'm like, what? You promote Lethwei?
And that's what you wanted.
That's what I wanted to do.
But you never fought Lethwei before.
No.
Just Muay Thai.
Exactly.
right.
So he's like, if you want to fight it, I have this fight coming up in 2 months or a few months. It's against the undefeated champion in Myanmar. So he's 36-0 in Lethwei.
Big
rules.
pressure.
Yeah. And he's like, how many fights you have, Dave? I'm like, I have 12 fights in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, well, that's not going to work out. So, I don't have anybody right now that wants to fight the guy, because again, he's the master at bare knuckle headbutts. So I'm like, nobody wants to fight. I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And it was a massive upgrade of pay that I was getting in Thailand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And where was I going with this? And we took the fight, and the rest is history. We went to Myanmar, and
And you did that.
So you go to your first fight, which is full contact, no fucking glove, headbutts. You've never done that.
And they lied on the record, I was going to say. So instead of having 12 fights, they said you have 40 fights.
Okay.
So if I won, it would look not as bad for him.
That's
and
it.
if I lost, well, he beat a good guy.
That's
right?
it.
That's
Yep.
it. Okay.
So,
They
but the
obviously
thing is,
didn't want you to win, though, right?
no,
You were sent there to lose.
guaranteed.
So it was kind of a setup.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
set up. Let's beat another tall white dude from Canada, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
beat another Westerner. Let's because
Yeah.
they want to show the patriotism, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't gonna go down easy, and dominated the fight. And after that, just kept going up, and we fought in, like I said, in Tokyo, in Japan, and
So your motivation was her. That night you're like,
Yeah.
fuck this, I need money.
If we didn't have this talk, right? If we didn't have this talk, I would not have called the promoter, and I will tell it to anybody that asks, like, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't do all these things. So
You see the power we hold?
Yes, it's true. It's amazing.
yeah.
Absolutely power couple.
So
Good for
going to
you.
that, speaking about power, we're talking about relationship right now. So, what was it for you guys to find love prior to what you had before? Probably in your past experience, you guys came together, and like, what happened? We're like, yeah, go for it.
What happened? Well, I think we were more, I'm going to speak for myself. Was the fact that we were kind of isolated in a little tropical island, well, in Thailand. And for a long while, I was getting little gigs here and there, but I had a lot of time to think. And I think that's what a lot of people in North America are lacking. Yeah. It's just time to think and reflect and do some retrospective. Exactly. And we had a lot of talks together about our childhoods, about our traumas, about really opened up to each other more than I've ever done before. Well, I've never done that before, actually, ever. Yeah. It was the relationships I used to have in my life were very superficial, both friendships and relationships. And it's for the first time ever, I really opened myself up completely. There's no secrets, nothing. Like, he knows me inside and out. And I think this is what really got us closer than ever.
I feel like there's some, I don't want to generalize, but I think I can, is that most relationships around the world, whatever the country is, they don't really know each other very well, deeply, right? That's why there's a high rate of divorce and cheating, and so it's just, it's we kind of like those few years, like constantly living together. I think we did leaps of 10 years of people live in America and Canada like this, right?
It's true,
because most people they don't work the same job, right? They don't work the same spot, and they see each other maybe in the morning if they're lucky, or and then a few hours at night, and if you're not too tired, right? And so technically, how many hours you've been, not you, but people, how many hours do they actually see each other?
I know,
like a
few
hours
together.
Quality time is a couple hours a day.
Most people live with complete strangers, basically.
That's it.
How many times we hear, I didn't know this person would do that. Yeah, he's a serial killer.
What was it? Yeah, what was it? There was the documentary. There was a couple, they were living together for 40 years, and then husband had a hobby. At night, he would dress up as a woman and go and prostitute. And
shit.
And the wife found out 40 years later, and she's like, I had no idea. Like, this is not the guy I married. For 40 years they were together.
Prostitute.
Yeah, you really don't know the person that's next to you.
Yeah, that's it.
And how can you connect to somebody if you don't
really know them inside and out and open up and be vulnerable? So you guys had that right from the start in the beginning. Yeah. So that's what made you guys probably strong right away from the get-go.
Yeah. And we have something a bit special too, and we're actually in the talks right now. We can't say too much, but we'll say to you guys.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want.
And your audience too.
Okay.
We're to talk right now for Dr. Phil about something something crazy that we have. We have a pact right now that we always together. So since we met that day, we never had a night apart.
So even till this day, you have not had a night
apart.
Never.
It's been over 4 years now.
Well, 4 years.
It's making us think of us.
Yeah.
Always been together.
You're like that too, right?
I love it.
We're always together.
I love that. You have a beautiful couple, guys.
Thank you.
So that's great. And that's, again, I understand that not everybody can do that.
No.
It's very hard, right?
Yes.
Not everybody can travel together. Not everybody. Well, I suggest that. But
it also takes a certain level of compatibility, because a lot of people can open up to each other, but it's not a guarantee that you're actually going to click, like you're going to be a perfect puzzle, right? Yeah. So there's an element of luck in finding your life partner.
Yeah, and then your fighting is also important. It's important.
Do you guys fight?
Of course we fight.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Do you have crazy loud fights, or
we had
Who's
absolutely
the craziest in the fights?
Who's the craziest?
It's always
It's
always the woman.
Yeah, I'm feisty for sure.
But I think fights they set up the boundaries and what works, what doesn't work.
For sure.
So, and especially in the beginning, right? You get to know each other, then everything's lovely. Then you get your first fight. Then you get your second fight.
And you come stronger.
But that's what I was going to say.
It's important.
Either it breaks you apart,
or
then you learn
stronger.
from it,
Exactly.
and then you readjust. And then you become looking at each other, and you don't have to talk, and you understand, right?
Yeah, for sure. Now, I think if you don't fight, you're repressing something. You
100%.
have to get when we say fight, doesn't have to be stabbing each other.
But a disagreement,
an occasional stab.
One stab is okay, but not 10.
Not exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Phil, is this going to be a couple that's never spent a night apart?
It's more than that, actually.
Ooh, it's crazy.
From this, we have another thing, which, again, I don't expect people
Sex
to...
every night.
No, moderation is key.
Exactly, yes.
Guys, don't do this at home.
I don't expect everybody to be like this, but I can see. I'm probably sure you guys I can see where we're going with this, and I probably, because you guys, I really think you're very close, and we have a debt pact.
Okay.
So it's suicide pact. So basically I realize, and we talk about happiness, I think it's really relevant, the happiness, right? I realize, and I know I'm very lucky to have found her.
Yes.
And I know that if, let's say, she would die or something happens, I would wake up every day the rest of my life extremely sad, extremely, I would think I would not be able to build anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I would be extremely miserable. And I think it would show, if I have kids, a bad example of what love is. Because I would be like Noah in the Notebook when he, when he's sleeping with another girl and he's thinking about the other one. Yeah. And you're basically not showing true love what it is. So I'm thinking I would not be able to live my life without this. And it would be even more powerful to just leave with the love of my life. Right. So we decided that. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
So coming to relationships, what were your biggest struggles together, living maybe this lifestyle or maybe just on a personal level? And what were your best moment ever, like the most joyful? Was it your wedding or whatever it was?
The wedding was pretty funny.
Yeah,
like it was a funny experience because we did a local ceremony, Myanmar style, traditional outfits, like
tell them
rules.
How come it happened.
Oh yeah, right.
Why that?
So we got engaged in Myanmar after Dave was already fighting. And were you? No, you weren't a champion yet.
I wasn't yet.
No, but he was like, So he had another fight. So we got engaged in October.
We got engaged in Bagan. People like Bagan. It's a beautiful spot on top of a temple.
Okay.
It's 10,000 temples in Bagan. It's gorgeous. Yeah. And then
so what you do is during sunrise, you climb on one of the pagodas and you see the sunrise and overlooking thousands and thousands of other pagodas, and they're all old and, some in better condition, some in worse, but it's very nice. Everything is green and just those like reddish pagodas all over. It's really beautiful.
And then a bit like you, the morning, because we had to wake up at like 5 a.m. in order to go see the sunrise. And she's like, she doesn't like to wake up early. She's like, I don't want to go. I'm like,
she's not a morning. She's not a morning person at all.
I had the ring in my hand, right?
Yeah.
So
she didn't know.
Yeah, she didn't know.
Okay.
Because we usually don't do these kind of things. We wake up later. So.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we're night people.
Do we have to do this at 4 a.m. Like really to go see the sunrise?
Yeah.
So we go.
You weren't motivated. Fuck the sunrise. We'll go tomorrow.
I rehearsed how to say you want to marry in Russian. Like it was like, you're coming. We're going.
So really cute.
Because speaking of that, she's
Russian,
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Da.
Born and raised.
Yes.
Born and raised, right?
Yeah.
And then you moved to Canada at 12.
12 years old.
I think I've read it.
He's done his research.
You have
on
a
you
Wikipedia page.
Yes, well,
Wikipedia.
We actually she was in Montreal all her life, and we never met. So it's pretty close to 2 hours apart the rest of her life, and we had to meet in Asia.
Yeah, so that too, amazing.
Yeah, so
she wakes up finally.
Yeah, she wakes up. We go.
Yeah,
we get when the sunrise is up. Now we I propose. She says yes, thankfully.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, no doubts there.
And then it does the newspaper front page in Myanmar, right? Wow. Because it was a beautiful picture. We had photographers there.
There was because people go there. It's a UNESCO protected space, and a lot of professional photographers go there to take beautiful pictures. And so there were a lot of photographers, and they started taking pictures.
They saw me on one knee, and they're like, okay.
So we received.
But did they know you were a fighter and everything?
No, they were Chinese.
You're like a nobody to them. Take a picture.
Just random photographers.
And they took and they sent it to us, so that was cool. But then the promoter sees that, and he owned the newspaper. The promoter of Lethwei owns newspaper there, so he's like,
let's do something out of this.
Let's do something out of this. Like he saw the money behind this. He's like,
for sure.
You're fighting in 2 months against the champ. And if you win the belt, which is like the coveted, the legendary golden belt in Myanmar, if you win this, we're going to pay for your wedding. And do you want to get married under traditional Burmese ceremony, right? And we're like, black sheep, let's fucking do it.
Something different, right?
I'd love to see pictures.
I'll show you guys.
You make me think of me because I do different stuff.
Exactly.
Dave was wearing like a hat with like a bow here.
Cool.
On the side.
I don't know if there's a picture, but
later, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
It was pretty special, and we couldn't kiss because she had to hold me.
It's special rules. So the Burmese weddings take place in the morning. Wow. It's very fast ceremony, 2-3 hours max. And basically the entire thing is, well, you enter, whatever. They say, okay, you're a man and wife. You feed each other. Yeah. And then ice cream or cake. And then the entire time you have to go and shake hands with each guest that came and say thank you and take a picture with them. That's the ceremony.
We didn't know anybody. We
didn't know exactly. I was going to say, so this is amusing to you guys because you're this big fucking show, which you don't care because you know nobody. And it's all about you guys. Like, you're just focused on we're getting married because we love each other, but they're making a show out of it.
So there was
people you don't know.
Exactly. It was crazy. They gave us a microwave. They gave us furniture. We left it in the hotel room. Like, we just left everything there. They gave us a pile of cash. I'm like, I don't know you. Apparently, they were all like the CEOs of like TV channels.
Yeah.
All like the
media
elites.
personalities. Yeah.
It was all
none of our family could make it because it was so last minute.
Okay.
So it was just
so it was really just the two
Dave
of you.
Yeah.
So this is funny. So I try to make
you understand.
And nobody speaks English. Yeah. Nobody. So it's like
translate on your phone.
Thank you.
And I trying to make fun of it because like we didn't know anybody. So I was like, she was holding me, and then people came, to give us our thank you. I'm like, oh, and Julie's here. Hey, Julie, how are you? And I was making her laugh as much. Yeah. Oh, Rob. Oh, Rob. Fuck.
Did you know he turned gay now?
Yeah, exactly. That was the whole joke, right? We didn't know anybody.
Nobody understood nothing. Right? So you're like,
but it was really cool. So basically, we won the belt and they paid for the wedding, and it was live on national TV.
Wow.
Like more than half the country watched it on TV.
It was insane. Yeah. How many millions?
30 million.
30 million views on the wedding.
Yeah, it was pretty
like
cool.
Random people would stop us on the street and show us their phone, and it's a picture of me and Dave, like of our wedding.
Their screensaver is us.
It's
like,
so crazy.
Like they turn you into celebrities without
like
knowing, like that.
Yeah,
just like that. Yeah,
because that was perfect timing. Because after winning the belt, like this was itself would have been like massive, but then adding this 2 days later, after it was 2 days after the fight, I had stitches on my face still.
Okay,
that was
at your wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
That's crazy.
So that just added to the like the explosion in Myanmar. So it's pretty cool. They really welcomed us well.
That's awesome. So it just happened like that.
Yeah.
So well, see, that's an interesting part of your story.
That was a big thing. And she actually, who did your hair? It was a trans guy.
It was like a lady boy. Oh my god, they're really.
It was a lady boy.
So
he was good though.
He was really good. Usually I don't know. Like, do you like makeup artists? Sometimes I can't trust them very much. So, and this lady boy comes in, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if it's going to be good, but he was actually really good. Like, he did nice makeup. Wow. He did this like crazy hair, like traditional style. Like the boys probably don't care. They're like,
as long as you're happy.
Of course. Well, but even in Thailand, the lady boys I find are more hotter than the actual girls there.
They're more feminine.
Yeah. Because we went to a strip club, which was lady boys, right? So we go in Bangkok, then we do that little red light strip. So we're just having fun. So we go to the strip club. Then there's that lady boy strip club. So we're like, let's go see how good they can look like women.
Yeah, it was my idea. I was like,
all right, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm happy she said that because
and how was that?
I wanted to see. I was hurt. She's curious.
You know what? No, they don't, because I think they tuck their.
Do they show everything?
No.
They're not swinging.
No, they tuck their wingy like I think up. They tape it so you could see like a or maybe I hope not. Maybe it's that.
But the boobs out.
Yes, the boobs out, and that's it. But they did have panties. But I was just intrigued, and again I was like, oh my god, they're hotter than women, like the actual women. I was.
But you could get tricked by some of them.
Like I understand why men now they're like, oh my god, it was actually a lady boy because they look friggin' like girls.
But then if you go all the way, there's no excuse.
Exactement.
Then there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so you get married, then what? So you're becoming this celebrity and that then you don't know about.
Yeah, okay, it went crazy after that. Like we fought. Lethwei was getting very, very popular in Japan. Yeah, because so we brought fought three fights in a row in Tokyo. And that was pretty cool, breaking other records there in Japan, and we miss it, right? It was a good time.
Have you guys traveled to Japan yet?
No.
Oh,
do you recommend?
Is it nice?
Yeah.
Sushi.
That's what I was going to say. How is the sushi? I love sushi.
It was good. Actually, we went to like all different kinds. We went to the very expensive one, very cheap one, and honestly, there's not a big difference.
Pretty good. Yeah. You know those what's it called? The conveyor belt.
Conveyor belt is the best for me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, cool.
And it's like $1 per sushi.
Oh, nice.
But for us, $1 per plate. Okay. That's like
50 plates.
Yeah.
Of course.
So yeah, that was really cool moments there. So
Nice.
fighting in Japan, that was like a bit of a dream for me because we know a Street Fighter, Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I always wanted to fight because it's just part of the culture. And going there was like a childhood dream for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
We went to karaoke like every day for
Karaoke.
5 hours.
Yeah, we did.
It's because that's the culture, right? There, they
Yes.
take it very seriously.
Oh,
like,
So if you sing like shit, they boo you.
And
they
it was
get
in a room.
no.
it's private rooms,
Oh, okay.
and you see people going alone. He goes
Okay.
alone. He dresses up in like a dinosaur, and he just sings. Like it's a thing. It's a very lonely culture.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
We see a lot of people like at restaurants eating alone with a teddy bear. Like
Yeah.
they offer a
Interesting.
teddy bear because they don't have to have like company.
Oh wow,
That's
that is
odd.
so interesting.
Why? Because
Yeah.
they have hard time connecting with
They
people.
don't have
or-
relationship. Yeah, they're very. It's a very solo, and the births are going down.
Yeah.
Birth rates is going down massively. They don't. It's all about like
Yeah.
career and being alone. So you go eat alone, and
Aw.
yeah, it's so. What else?
They get
the-
drunk a lot.
Drunk. So the karaoke was pretty fun though. We spent like at least 8 hours.
That's
I was
so much
singing
fun.
there.
Oh, that's
And then I was
fun.
like singing. I was sleeping.
We were so tired. Like we were literally on the floor, like singing our little songs.
And what were you drinking? Sake or something?
It was,
What they-
like,
is that what it is?
They offer food so you can live
yeah.
there, and then every time
You can live there.
it was like, okay, your time is up. Yeah, add more. So because you just like book an hour, so I
Yeah.
was just like more.
Nice.
I sang the
It was
entire
fun.
disco repertoire. I'm a
Cool.
big disco fan. So
Yeah. So cool.
you like disco?
Well, I
Like,
don't know. It's fine.
DVGs, PGs, you like-
no ways.
Sing the oldies.
Like, I'm open-minded.
Yeah,
you know, I'll
yeah.
try pretty much anything.
What's your music? Your favorite music?
Favorite music? I love hip hop a lot. I
Yeah.
love house EDM
Yeah.
music like that. I like a lot of jazz.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like jazz.
Saxophone.
Saxophone.
Sax is
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So I have that side too, my softy side of relaxing music and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, jazz,
Yeah. Classical.
classical
I
music a bit.
introduced you to like screamo music.
Yeah. Scream.
What's
Like
that?
it's like punk.
Like,
Okay, that's
Where
like
you
heavy.
actually scream?
not scream. Okay, they sing but scream. Like A Day to Remember, We Came as Romans. You know those bands?
band,
Yeah,
Breaking
Asking Alexandria.
Benjamin.
No, that is like,
No,
So
it's really good.
Really?
Oh my
She introduced
god!
me to that.
So I
Yeah,
introduced.
c'est vraiment
Ben
bon.
oui.
You have to introduce me too.
It's just awesome. Like if ever you want to
Yeah.
work out, do things
Okay.
like that.
And they
It's
scream
for work. No, not like
Well, sometimes they'll
like,
scream, but it's not screaming
then
the
they
whole time. Then
sing.
it's soft.
It's
Then they
soft,
scream
and then
the
they
soft.
scream in soft, and it's like, oh, I'll show you.
Okay.
It's
I need
really
some
good.
link. I need some links.
No,
Yeah,
it's really good.
for sure.
I'll show you too.
Okay.
For sure.
She got me into
So
it.
she introduced it to
Yeah.
Scream. What's the name of
They
it?
screamo, but I don't know. I don't know. Is it screamo?
I don't know
or-
the style how you say
I don't
it.
know how to say.
That's
it
how
either.
Dave sings.
But her favorite band's A Day to Remember, and we went to Florida to watch it. So I
Okay,
got
wow.
tickets for her for
That's
was
nice.
it for your birthday? It was for her
That's
birthday,
cute.
I think. So we went over there, and he's actually an amazing live singer. A lot of
he's
them live
one
they
of the best
suck, right?
shows
But
That's a
we've
nice
seen.
gift. That's a nice surprise.
I
Let's
know.
go to
I was
Florida.
so happy. Yes, I was so excited.
left it.
So yeah.
So that was fun. So, anyways, coming back to you guys, what was your
Yes.
biggest challenge in a
Challenge.
relationship? You know,
Okay.
like
Well,
you,
Well, I guess-
to be perfectly transparent, for me, and I really have nothing to hide. It was
Yeah.
like my childhood traumas, like
Okay.
how I grew up and how I was formed and like my mentality. So I like to argue and like I had to tone it down. And she helped me a lot with this, like introspective. Yeah, it's the hardest part, I think. You
Yeah.
know, to change stuff in your
especially
body.
your childhood
Fuck
shit. You know,
me.
yeah.
You know, most people actually don't take the time because it's very hard
To
It's very
overcome
hard.
that
Yeah.
and
It's
change
hard.
the way
engraved in you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
engraved
yeah.
in your personality. It's engraved. So,
Yeah.
so that was for me to fight more efficiently.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
So
very
basically
good at
having
it
better
now.
communication
Yeah.
and just,
Yeah,
understanding
exactly.
more. So
And you?
Well, figuring out the whole our life situation, building it from scratch, I think that was a very challenging part as well.
Yeah. Like settling, like make sure where we're gonna live and everything.
Yeah.
Because we lived in many different countries. We started in Thailand and then we moved to Myanmar
Yes.
shortly.
Mhm.
But then Irina didn't like it too much because it was good for business for like Lethwei to be in the mecca of the sport.
Yeah.
But it's still a third world country, right? And there's a big disparity between like you're either very rich or very poor.
Okay.
And even though you lived in a nice spot, people outside was very like it was like huts, right? So not too far from it. So Irina's like and it's not a safety thing. Like you could walk alone.
Oh yeah, it's super safe there.
Yes.
I'm doing everything alone there. I take a taxi. I walk around the streets. It's very, very nice people.
Okay. Yeah, very kind. Like, and I'll get to that. But like the thing was
the day-to-day. That's hard.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's a lot of electricity cuts, and we take it for granted here in Canada, electricity. Yeah. But when you're living in the tropical climate, electricity cuts sometimes for a day, 2 days.
Oh, wow.
There's no AC, right? There's no light. There's no Wi-Fi.
So you need a generator. So it's just a lot of logistics. So we were not quite ready at the time to fully immerse in living there. So what happened is perfect. It was somebody called me to do a seminar, and it was in Dubai. Wow. So we go to Dubai, we do a seminar.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then that's like, Irina's like, Dave, the rainy season's coming soon, and you know what that means, right? The electricity cuts are going to happen more often, and it's going to rain a lot. Why don't we live here? Like, oh, okay, so you want me to live? Okay, so before we're there for 5 days.
Yeah. Okay.
Usually we do a seminar and we just get the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
And then
that's it.
In that 5 days, the last 2 days, I visited apartments. Okay. And I gave a deposit to a condo in Dubai.
Oh.
So before I'm like, yeah, we're coming. So we went back to Myanmar, packed our stuff, and moved to Dubai.
Oh, for how long were you
very
guys?
expensive?
Yeah, tell me about Dubai.
It's very expensive.
Yeah. We lived in the really prime location in the Dubai Marina.
Okay.
It's really next to the water, and it was really nice. Yeah,
it's gorgeous, amazing. I love Dubai.
Yeah,
there's obviously some downers as well, like in every city,
of course.
But yeah, overall, it's very comfortable living, very clean, very safe.
Nice.
There's everything's super convenient. Every single business you can possibly think of delivers 24/7. Like you need an Advil at 4 a.m. They're gonna deliver.
Pharmacy delivers. So
Wow.
It's the first time I got a McFlurry delivered to me.
Oh, okay, interesting. And if McFlurry, like ice cream. Here you go. Wow.
Nice.
And it was still cold, right?
Wow.
So anything.
Amazing.
They can come, like literally you can drop off your car in the middle of the street. They're going to come wash it. You just call them and say,
That's
hey,
crazy.
my car is here. And they're going to come and wash your car.
I love that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's just, it was very, for me, being born in Chelsea, like I lived in, Yadno, the back, like and Irina was born in Moldova. So you like greeneries, trees. Yeah. So there's no greeneries there. It's a concrete jungle, right?
Yes.
Which is great for business, great for training, great for, I was training, it was, melting, like it was 50 degrees outside.
Unreal.
50 degrees.
Wow.
So you're running.
Right? So you're sweating like crazy.
So that was great for training. But then we're like, we need something. So before off air, we're starting talking about it, and I said, "Okay, let's get into this." Yeah, we went to a cafe in Dubai, and we're like, "Okay, what do we do? Where do we go?" Right. So that was it's kind of freeing to think like that, and I wish everybody at home can live that. It's like, okay, so where can we go?
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we're gonna go for a seminar tour. So, we're going to experience a few countries. Let's see which one we like the most.
Perfect.
So we went to Spain, went to Cyprus, went to...
Well, we Googled it first.
So by then you have a manager that's setting it all up for you?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So we Googled it.
Yeah, we looked up what's the best places in the world to live, like climate, safety, not too poor, not too rich, like somewhere in the middle. And and there was Spain, Italy, I think, Malta, Cyprus. Oh, and Canary Islands, I think, with the best weather in the world.
That's Italy, I think. Or that's Spain, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, it was a lot of things, right? Like, you want warm, but then is the crime rate too high? Because you go to, for example, maybe place in South America, it's warm, but then there's maybe crime.
100%. And it's not safe. Like, you want to be somewhere.
And then raining season, right? You can have safe, hot, but massive rainy season. Like Costa Rica has a lot of rain. Yeah. So it's like, okay, so we have very intricate, like to find a good spot. And the one that was Cyprus, it was no raining season almost, no snow, no nothing, and
perfect climate, people safe.
It's, half of the country, like there's 1 million population. The country's 1 million people, and half of it is Russian. So we're like,
wow, that's perfect for you, girl. Yeah. That's awesome.
And everybody speaks English because it's an ex-British colony.
Okay.
So the English, like everybody speaks. Perfect. Even like old ladies can speak.
Perfect. So no language barriers.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's clean. It's nice.
It's like a Monaco for people. Like people think, what's Cyprus? They don't know, but it's very, it's like a EU. It's in the European Union, and it's very, like it's bougie. It's nice. Like there's some spot obviously that's not, but it's very, very cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So we moved everything from Dubai to Cyprus. Fucking by boat cost me an arm and a leg. And, it took 2 weeks to ship.
Another one.
But we had all our stuff there, so now it's
perfect.
Good. Yeah.
So how long have you guys lived in Cyprus now for?
It's moved recently, like maybe 6
Back
months.
and forth,
congrats.
So now we're stuck here for the
Yeah.
kids
Stuck
because of
here
that.
and then
Yeah.
But we're not stuck. We're great.
Sorry, yeah, we're
Aw.
so not stuck.
Our
Right?
There you
families
go.
are here.
Yeah.
Change your
Yeah.
mindset, change
Yeah.
your perspective, you
Yeah.
change your emotions, right?
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
they say, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Somebody said we're not stuck. We're safe here,
Yes.
or we're safe regardless.
No, we're
Before
good
that,
in
of
though,
course.
Canada. Canada's a nice country.
No, I love it. Yeah, especially there's no snow right now. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Of
going from the
course.
logistic of your life, right? So you want to start making money. She abandons everything.
Yeah.
You start from scratch, basically. So you become this crazy world champion, and you have your own thing going on for yourself as well, right? So you tag along with his dream because obviously you left everything to follow his path that he started on his own.
Yeah.
But then, to keep yourself occupied, you started your own thing, which is, I think, consulting. That
Yes.
if you want to talk about it, go ahead.
Well,
She's the queen of mindfucks.
yes.
Queen of
Thank you.
mindfuck.
I love it.
So,
Thank you. That's a nice introduction. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I specialize on mindfucks,
okay.
and it's helping women achieve the relationship that they desire, which through whatever means possible. So,
So,
whatever.
Just to be fair, I mindfucked the queen
Yeah.
initially.
Yes.
Initially,
he did. He
did.
did.
Yeah.
So how did that started from you going with him and just, talk about it?
How did I started. I was writing articles for different magazines online, Cosmopolitan, things like that. And then I'm like, you know what? Why do I keep writing for other people when I can write for myself?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I started writing relationship advice, and it was something I was always passionate about, relationships.
On your own
And-
website? Like you created a website?
Yeah, I have.
or-
Yeah,
okay.
irinat.com.
Okay.
And
For people there,
Instagram,
Irina
Irina T. So I started this, and I remember once we were in a cafe with Dave, and he was like, and I was telling him, a problem that one of my readers reached out to me with, and he's like, "Oh my God, but you're giving her a mindfuck. You're a mindfuck queen.
Yeah.
Change your bio right now. This is like,
Yeah.
this is a great tagline." So since then I became the mindfuck queen.
She was doing a lot of research,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
she's really passionate about
Yeah.
It's,
about psychology and relationships, right?
'Kay.
Yeah.
But also, I think it goes well into all this, the talking we spoke about, right? We had a lot of time together and try to understand the male brain, our brains,
Yeah,
right?
of
And so,
course.
so it just worked naturally
Because we're different, right?
Yeah.
We don't think the
Yeah.
same. So
Yeah.
how do you connect that to make
Yeah.
it work, right?
So that's how it came. So basically, mindfuck is a provocative, cool way to say behavior.
It's based on behavioral science and how by altering the external stimuli, we can actually impact the behavior of people, and more specifically of your life partner. And I'm doing it for women only.
Okay.
But the advice that I'm giving is you can apply it in any area of your work, with your parents, with your siblings. But I focus on relationships because that's the most fun for me.
Yeah, and you say impact. Basically, it's mindfuck. Like you impact the brain, you mindfuck the brain.
Yeah.
I love the branding. I love the
Well,
it's
you
amazing.
came up with it. So
Yes.
Well, it's our brand. It's our brand.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how good are you at applying your advice for your own self versus giving them? So that's one thing that,
Well, before saying that, she has like a fucking encyclopedia of girls. She's held saved marriages, and I'm really impressed with what she's done. Like she saved marriages. She's girls that were not able to get the guy that they want. Finally, they're happy
when they found somebody.
Yeah.
And you do that
Good.
online, right? So you can do it throughout the whole world,
Exactly.
following Dave and his
Amazing.
fights and everything.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, so she consults all the time, and
Well, it's obviously easier to consult other people, when you have your head fresh and you can just
No
objectively
emotions
look
and
exactly look at a situation and tell them, okay, do this, that if you want to achieve this and that.
But one of your viewers asked you, "Do you mind fucking your husband?" And you said, "Kind of."
Yes, I do. Well, it's hard because I run all of the mind fucks through Dave, and I'm like, do you think this will work? And to give you an example, because it's such a
what's
great
a mind
concept.
fuck?
Yes, please.
I'm so passionate about this. So let's say, let's say you want your man to surprise you for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to tell him, and a lot of girls would be like, well, why don't you ever buy me anything for Valentine's? Like, it's Valentine's. So no, this is not how you do it.
That's not good.
So you come to your man all excited, like a little girl with heart eyes, and jump on him and babe, I want to know what's a surprise that you're preparing for me for Valentine's Day. Oh, wait, don't tell me. I wanted to say surprise. Thank you, Vivian. So, and you give him a kiss.
That would work on me. That would work.
You're like, shit, I don't have a surprise.
Exactly.
I better come up with something.
But
That's brilliant.
But so now he's like, oh fuck.
Now he has to come up with a surprise.
And because you're so excited, you're showing like, that's good.
Right.
That's one of the millions of
one.
one.
So we come up with these clever little tricks on things to say, how to act, when to, push and pull.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, that's why I mentioned the pull technique that you used on me without even realizing it, but it worked. That was a pull.
You. Not push. I said we can't talk too much.
Yeah, right. Whatever you want to call it. So it's like you go.
I think it's a pull. The pull is when you retract. Push is like I want you. So you're flirting.
Oh, okay.
Then you're like, it's not gonna work. Bye.
Exactly.
So she comes back after you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you're the queen and I'm just like,
the king.
I'm just
and I'm just the king
of another thing. Not But so for me, like I don't know everything she's doing. I don't know all this stuff, but I see her like she's
So you gave her that idea. You're like, why don't you do that?
No, I didn't give her the idea, but she was doing it already. I just like
he came
it.
up with the term mindfuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's catching fire. Like
give us
people
another
love
one
it.
without telling too much.
That's
another
awesome.
one that you can think.
Oh my God, there was something today.
I'm very impressed by like how it works on the
psychology.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're putting me on the spot
I know.
here.
It's okay.
What was it? Today there was something.
Like a long distance relationship or
there was one. Okay, so let's say you want your husband or a boyfriend to help you out around the house.
Okay.
Instead of telling him, "Hey, I want you to clean the floors," what do you think would be a good way to have him help you out?
Well, for us, I'm always like, okay, we set a date, like, hey, just letting you know, babe, we're doing it together, and it'll be Wednesday. This is what we do, and we have.
You have a good man, that's why.
Oh, of course, 100%.
I have my flaws, but
no, he's really good. So I'm just like, hey, Wednesday we have to clean the house because nobody. When you live in shit, you feel like shit, you know. So that's why we, I like the house tidy and clean. So that's pretty much. He's like, okay. So I don't know if that's good or bad. You tell me, girl.
So that's very good, but you also have a good guy on your side. So I guess it's easier for you. But for some women, it's not enough to just tell them, hey, I need you to help me out around the house.
They're not going to listen.
So what helps is you give him compliments and tell him, let's say, oh my God, babe, you're so much better than me at scrubbing the floors. Holy shit, how do you do this? You're like a professional cleaning company. My mind is blown right now.
So positive reinforcement.
Yes, it's called positive reinforcement.
Yes.
So the guy is going to be like, oh wow, like this feels good. She's flattering my ego. Like, oh my God, I'm the best cleaning man in the world. Let me scrub some
But he has to clean, otherwise it'll be like, you're lying. I never clean.
Exactly.
But what are you talking about?
Yeah, it has to be
subtle, and it's over time.
Believable.
Yeah,
so that's
but now that you said that, now I realize that I got mind fucked.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
For some, not for this, but for like
for
like I think you sell you're tidy and like, okay, you got me.
I love it. Too funny.
It's for the benefit of the family, baby.
Yes, it sure is.
So that's the thing. So some criticism is like, oh well, it's like
a negative,
unethical or whatever.
Oh yeah, like a lot of people say,
no,
but it's not okay to do this, to like it's manipulations. Mm-hmm. But in a way, if your ultimate goal is positive, you just want to be more loved, more taken care of. You want your man to help you around the house. I mean, that's not a bad
negative thing.
Exactly.
Absolutely not.
It's whatever you use it for.
Yep.
But I've had some women who come to me and say, hey, I'm in a relationship with a married man. How do I make him leave his wife?
Okay.
This is when it becomes interesting.
So your job is like a lawyer. You're a lawyer.
Yeah.
You give your like a lawyer doesn't decide if he's gonna represent a murderer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, so you're giving your service, and
I'm gonna help whoever is gonna come my way.
Okay.
And it's up to them to decide what to do with their life. I'm not gonna teach them, hey, this is unethical. Well, you do what you got to do to fight for your love.
To be fair, this, if that's the case, right? Well, first of all, the if it goes to that extent and they're already having an affair, well, first of all, the married woman already failed, I believe, and she should listen to Mindfucks to get her husband back.
Or perhaps You know, the fact that the husband is going to leave her is going to open up other great things for the wife, because right now she's obviously not happy. Her husband is cheating on her. There's no way that, you know, he's coming back home with a smile.
So you had girls that were like mistresses already.
Yeah.
Already seen married men. And you have girls that reach out to you for this.
Exactly.
To say, how can,
how can I reel him in?
How can I reel him in so the
you
man
shouldn't,
leaves his wife?
But if you pay me, I'll tell you the secret.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, isn't it? You told me that like it happened and then they're like actually happy together?
Yeah, well, of course. There's always, you know, some cases when, you know, marriages are broken and they find another happy.
Yeah, but it happens with or without you anyway. Marriage
happy
break.
for 6 months and then they come back.
There's always exceptions. But generally, if you ask my personal opinion, I don't think it's a good idea to get involved with a married man or woman. But I can't, you know, if that's what they think, because I asked the girls, like, is this real love? Do you think this is the man for you? And do you think this is what you need to do to be happy? And she says, yes. Well, I feel like everybody deserves a chance to fight for their love. And if she thinks he's the one, hey, okay, go for it, girl.
So has it worked actually?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm writing.
We have to stay safe.
I'm writing a book about it, and there's going to be a special section of dark magic, of more, you know,
like questionable.
Pages? Yeah, actually, black pages of more questionable issues where, you know, a girlfriend wants the boyfriend to not hang out with his friends anymore, let's say, or
again, you don't recommend it, but it's everything's possible.
Or for a guy to leave his wife, you know, things like that, more iffy.
How are you going to call that book?
Yeah,
we didn't approve the title yet, but it's going to be something along the lines of, you know, how to mindfuck any guy, or 100 ways to mindfuck. Yeah,
good for you.
Thank you.
That is so interesting. I love it.
And the thing, and again, I'm just very passionate. I'm her biggest fan.
Yes,
well, we
can
see that you're always looking at each other and everything. It looks awesome. It's beautiful.
What did you say? So the book,
of course.
Yeah, I forgot.
The dark magic.
Fuck the dark. Yeah, but I think I forgot.
Yeah,
it's okay.
So quickly, if you would have tips for couples, relationships, like maybe your top 10 tips, or just something that you maybe is a framework of how you operate for yourself and for others, maybe.
Are we talking about happy couples?
Yeah, happy couples. Like how to have a happy relationship.
Okay.
Basic guidelines.
Okay, so if we're talking about mindfuck specifically, there needs to be an element of jealousy, even though you are, you know, happy and together. There's still, both partners need to realize that you are wanted by the opposite sex. That keeps the fire going and keeps it interesting, you know, in the bedroom,
it's true, because
etc.
you told me one day in a movie, one guy, or not a movie, where somebody said like, oh, my husband, he's not a danger. Well, if she thinks that of her husband,
she won't respect him.
She doesn't respect him. She doesn't want to fuck him either, right? Like it's like, my husband, ship up all this. I'm not afraid. Go have fun. I'm not even like, nobody wants you, right? So no, but that's right.
Yeah,
so,
it's true.
So you need to be wanted by the other. Okay,
of course.
Absolutely, and just keep that in mind. Also, positive versus negative, because a lot of people are afraid, because we're all brought up to be, you know, good girls and good boys. You know, if we love somebody, we only want to give them positive emotions and be on their best behavior. But sometimes that spicy attitude, you know, being like a girl that says, no, this is not okay with me, or puts the boyfriend or the husband back in his place, it's very important, and vice versa for men as well.
Absolutely.
I respect that more.
Of course.
And I just like
not being afraid of being a bad girl. I keep saying girl because my advice is primarily for women, but it would be the same for men. Yeah, just
but if I'm bad, it's not bad.
But bad in the sense that, you know, not you're not gonna say yes to everything. You're gonna say, okay, well, I'm not okay with this, for example. I'm not okay with you liking other girls' pictures.
There you
go. Like you're allowed to say that.
Yeah,
you shouldn't.
I'm just kidding.
You shouldn't be that, you know, the goody good girl that everything's okay with me. Oh, you want to go out with the friends? No problem. But you actually hate it on the inside.
Yeah, and you're not saying anything. I agree.
Yeah.
And I feel as a man, for me, on my perspective, I respect that even more than
a woman not saying anything.
You're supposed to hunt, right? You're like, if it's too easy, let me go on to the next challenge.
100%.
Right? You need a challenge.
100%.
Yeah.
Great. So those are the tips for
those are yeah. And for the rest, follow me on Instagram.
Yes, please do. Of course, I will.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. So I was coming back to logistics. So this is what you're doing. He's the fighter. How does it work to travel the world when you're Canadian? Like so let's say me and her want to drop everything. Yeah. So how would it work for some listeners who wants to just
pack everything up and leave and start new?
I think people have a misconception that it's extremely hard.
Yes.
Well, I
think that.
it's quite easy. Like,
really, why? Tell us.
Well, like, I mean, like, first of all, we have the best passport in the world almost. Like, Canadian passport is really good. So she has a Canadian passport. If she had a Russian passport, it would have been way harder. Okay. So that's right away. Most countries allow us to go there for 3 months, 6 months, get a visa, a resident visa. Like I got my Dubai resident visa in like a month, right? Very easy.
So resident is not citizen.
Resident, you get citizenship. It's not. You don't have to be a citizen to live there. You like in Cyprus, we're not citizen yet. We're resident.
But you can actually get a citizenship in Cyprus.
Okay. Yeah, you can have your passports, and that's my goal. I want to have many passports.
Well, that's perfect.
100%.
So you can have a foot everywhere, a condo everywhere.
Like you open the box, you have my Russian passport, my Moldovan passport, because after 3 years of marriage, you get your passport, and then my Canadian, and then Cyprus. So as soon as the borders open, we're going to Moldova. I'm getting my blue Moldovan passport.
Nice, that's awesome.
There you go.
It's really useless.
It's useless as fuck, but I want it.
You just want it.
Just a piece of
like about 4 passports. In the movie, like you open the thing and you have another passport, another identity. That's gonna be
a gun, a pile of cash.
We had the other thing covered. We have the money. We have the passport. I was gonna say. So, what do you talk about logistics?
Oh yeah, is it hard to move?
Yeah, so
logistics. So for people who wants to.
Yeah. So we moved from Canada to Thailand, then from Canada to Myanmar, then Myanmar to Dubai, then Dubai to Cyprus.
Yeah.
You just have to. Obviously, it takes some funds like to ship everything in boxes, and like there's delivery companies that do that. Apart from that, you can. It's the same as like going to Florida. Like you can live 6 months in the States, right? I don't. What's one of the challenge you think it's hard, for example?
Well, you have to come back to Canada every 6 months, for instance, so you don't lose your citizenship.
You don't lose your citizenship.
No, never
you
lose.
You just lose your social insurance. Not social insurance.
Like right now, I don't have
insurance.
I don't have health insurance.
So if you go to the hospital, you don't have your card, so you have to pay.
Which we paid everywhere, and we had the best service of our life.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's probably better than here. So
it's
fuck it.
like,
and even here, most of the time, you probably end up paying because you want fast service, right? I don't know. So in like Thailand was the best. Hospitals, I got an operation there, like in and out, like boom, boom, boom.
Thailand has the best hospitals.
Yeah, really good. Even like guys that get injured in Burma, they go to Thailand.
Bangkok.
It's the better hospitals. But no, it's you lose your as a Canadian Quebecer, you lose your carte soleil. Like,
and that's it. So who cares?
So it's easy just to go move if we wanted to move, and then it's just
obviously
finding work when you're there. But
so it's the money part, right? How do you make your money to live abroad?
That's the real challenge. Like people like you need to go there. Do you have a job there? Find a job and then you can go easy.
Figure something to work, make it work. Okay.
Yeah. So right now we're here for 2 months now. So we're in 4 months we're gonna have our insurance back.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a big deal.
You're good for 6 months again or something.
As soon as you live 6 months, you'll get it back.
Okay.
So we've been out for 4 years. We don't have it right now.
Okay.
But
you get it back.
We're healthy. We're young.
Yeah. 100%. Exactly.
So it's pretty easy. Yeah, the hardest part was to find the good companies to ship your goods. That's it. Honestly, maybe I'm more loose than most people, but I don't find it.
You didn't find it that challenging
at the beginning.
I found it challenging when we kept moving from one place to another and not having a solid base where we could come back to.
Yeah.
That was my personal challenge, but I feel like maybe it's because I don't know. I don't even know why I found it challenging. It shouldn't be a problem technically.
You wanted a place to drop all your shit instead of like putting in a storage room. Right?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, it's the same thing. What's the difference? It stays in the storage room or
it's true.
Or in anyway. So that was my little like brain fart, I guess. And, but other than that, no, I loved it. We got to live so many interesting experiences, and it's never a routine. It's always different every day. So
That's why we got hooked on traveling, because you're like, it's like a new life. So you go somewhere else, you can be anybody you want, right? Yeah. So you leave the worries.
Were you Dmitry, the Russian hitman? You could pass for Russian.
That's about to say you could.
Yeah.
I do actually. I've been told that I look for like a Russian a bit sometimes, even though I don't have blue eyes.
You could pass for like
maybe more her.
You guys should go to Russia.
Yeah.
You'll have a blast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it true that they're very cold? Like you say hi and they'll be like, the fuck you're talking to me
In
for?
Russia, we have a saying, if you smile for no reason, you're a fool.
Really?
Imagine.
That's a saying you grew up with. Yeah, it's like, it's just not part of the culture to smile.
No.
But it doesn't mean they're like mean or anything. It's just part of the culture.
Okay.
And that was one of the things that when we met was to like go deeper in that and like open up our emotions more.
Yeah.
You're raised in the USSR, right?
Our cultural background, we're not very lovey-dovey in our family. We don't really say I love you. We're not like touchy-feely.
Okay.
So I grew up, like really not knowing how to express my emotions and how to like be in love and show love and affection.
Yes.
It's total opposite.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's a self-healing process for me as well, through helping those women. It helps me help myself and go through those little, childhood traumas that I had growing up.
You must have freaked out when I just hugged you. Like,
makes me think of her because I'm the super physical one, and she wasn't raised like that. So
no, I wasn't.
She's like, why is he all touchy? I express love like that. Like just take it. Just take my love.
Has it impacted you?
Oh, for sure. Like I love it very much, but it's just for me. I'm getting better with it. Like for me to give him that physical touch and love. It's just I was never like.
So what's your language of love? You know
exactly. That's a good question. So we feel love differently, right?
So I find taking care of him. Like I always serve him his food, make him his lunches. Always that. I'm always asking him tons of questions, giving him those attentions, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
So taking care. Yeah.
What's it called? Acts of
kindness for sure.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Acts of kindness, words of encouragement.
Yes, all the time. I'm so proud of you. Good for you. You're amazing. You're the best. Like you're gonna kill it. I always that too all the time.
Yeah.
There's gifts that people like receiving gifts. Yes. People like receiving affection. Words of encouragement.
Quality time.
Quality time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Irina's like she likes gifts.
Yeah. That's why.
Again, it goes down to trauma. It goes back to childhood. You didn't
get a lot of
gifts. I grew up in USSR just collapsed. We're very everybody was poor, right? Because it was communism, so everybody was kind of poor. And for me, gifts were just on special occasions, like one time on Christmas and one time on birthdays. And this is why for me, like it really impacted me. And I associate a lot of positive feelings with gifts. So
me. I don't care. I don't like gifts. I actually refuse to have gifts on my birthday. I don't want. I just want like affection, or like I want affection. I want hugs.
Yeah,
so I'm like you. We're getting hug each other.
Yeah, there you go. So cute.
But there's it's crazy.
But but that's why it's a blessing that we met men like that, because it's making us better people.
Yeah,
right, and opening up our mind to there's different languages of love, and to use it and to be better.
Absolutely.
So
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So maybe you're Russian.
Somewhere,
it could be. It's a possibility.
So traveling the world, what have you learned from humans? You've seen different humans. You've been exposed to a lot of different cultures. What have you learned? What's your either spirituality? Are you doing meditation, Buddhism? I don't know. What are you connecting with, and what have you learned from humans?
Sure. Well, I learned that a lot of things. I don't know, because there's a few things that I was told to never talk about. Was politics, religion,
and you talk about both.
I talk about both all the time. But I'm actually I follow a lot of spirituality. I have a hard time with the word spirituality because etymology is spirit. Yeah. And I have no proof that spirits are real. Mm-hmm. So I understand it comes down to people talk about this because we used to say that ourselves. We used to say we're not religious, we're spiritual, right? But what does that even mean, spiritual, right? Because what does that even mean? So I do meditate. I do a lot of visualization before fights. It's very big part of my my fighting. I meditate. I visualize, and whatever you can visualize, you can materialize. Yeah.
Very true.
I used to imagine my arm getting raised. Okay. And feeling the pressure of the referee raising my arm, right? So all these things, because if I can feel it in my meditation, the next step is gonna happen in real life in the ring. And guess what?
A lot of athletes do that. They meditate before, so they're focused and they don't think about yesterday or tomorrow or everything that happened, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's a lot of things. I realized that there's a lot of stupid people.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I would say like 80%, if not more, or 90% of population. I'm like, okay, and you guys can vote and you can reproduce. Okay.
Well, we're learning not to get triggered by that, right?
Scary.
People can be whatever they want to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody was exposed to the same things growing up, and you know, not everybody had the education, proper information, and so they're allowed to.
Yeah,
be,
I think what I learned is not to judge as much, because I used to get a lot triggered, you know, with a lot of things that didn't fit well in my understanding of the world.
Yeah. Okay.
So now I'm like, I understand it. Doesn't mean I have to approve it, but I just understand it. Like, you know, so yeah.
Just it is what it is, and good for them, you know, or whatever.
Because I used to like, for example, when I was in Thailand, I was like, okay, why are they not like teaching their kids English, right? You know that if you teach them English, they're gonna have a great life. They're gonna be in tourism, make a shit ton of money. I'm like, well, they don't know. They don't know. There's, you know, so
they teach them their limited language, and that's all they know. They're not equipped for the world, and you know, they stay limited, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, so you kind of make peace with that. Yeah. Good question. Good question.
What was your best maybe travel experience, like the one that struck you the most of all the places you've been?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be the same one.
Which one?
Moldova.
Yeah, me is Moldova. And why are you though? Why do you like?
Well, it was a very special experience for me. That was like the ultimate way of showing you my roots and where I came from, and it's almost like it's another life for me, right? Because my life changed completely ever since we came to Canada, and growing up in like a ex-USSR country is special. Like you saw where we used to play as kids. He was like, this is like your little park for kids.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah, you went there.
So Moldova is like a country in Eastern Europe. Okay. It's like next to Ukraine, next to Russia, and it's not in the European Union. It's next to Romania. Yeah. Okay. She speaks Romanian a little bit too.
Nice.
But like communism, like l'Union Soviétique, it was collapsed when she's born. So it was like, okay, now it's a new life. And so when I saw that country, and I was like, wow, that was like, it was really special for me to see where she's born and see her roots. So that was my favorite spot. Nice. We've been to a lot of countries, but this was like, okay, I felt closer than ever, because I can see who
where she's from, how she was raised. Like
she never brought anybody to Moldova except me. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I felt really, really cool. And eating the food there, like very special, like fatty food.
Yeah.
It was really cool. So I would go back there. Yeah, I would go back there. Love it.
And what about you?
Well, it's the same.
Showing me your roots.
Yeah, exactly. It was a very special experience, and it's not even about the country. It's just about connecting with you, but it's never about the country, really, right? No. It's about the company, who you go with.
100%.
You can go to the least interesting place ever and have the best time ever if you're with the right person. I agree.
And like, let's go to Fiji alone. It's gonna be a bit boring, right?
Of course. Of course.
Unless you meet somebody there. But again, it goes down to living it with somebody else.
Exactly.
Happiness is only real when shared. So we said earlier. And that's what I learned, actually. Exactly. That's a good point, because before going and living in Asia permanently, I did a bit of a World Wonders tour with a friend. Okay. And we did like the Taj Mahal in India. We did the Rome Coliseum. We did the Petra in Jordan. And we did what else? The pyramids in Egypt. So we did like 4 World Wonders back to back in a week. And it was like, okay, amazing. But then I came, when he left back to Canada, I was alone in Asia. I'm like, fuck, that was nice. Let me post a picture on Facebook. But then, waiting for you have to share with a physical person. I felt really like empty, even though I just went on 4 World Wonders.
Wow.
It's supposed to be so special.
Of course, you were alone, once in a lifetime, but you had nobody to share. Of course.
So when now living and going, we went back to Petra last couple months in Jordan, and that was like, okay, now
you can have you have somebody to share it with, somebody that you love, and the connections there, and
so you feel more alive now than ever.
Yeah, especially like I could kiss you in Petra, and I couldn't do that with my friend.
But you could. Why not?
Yeah, no, we're not there. We're emotional, but we're not there.
Yeah, exactly.
But I believe a partner is it makes the whole thing go around.
Yeah, so
again, happiness. Like, your podcast has the best name ever, because it goes down to that, right? Yeah, it goes down to that in life. You can have everything you want, and that's one of the realization I made to myself as well, is that Because once you have a boat, then you want a place for an helipad, and then when you have an like
you always want something more.
It's never enough, and that's a big problem. And like not greed, I guess it's greed, but like never having enough. So I realized that for me, I set my mind on a number, and that's the money, that's the amount I want yearly, and I don't need more than that. I'll have all the trips that I want.
What do you need to be comfortable with your lifestyle and what you like?
You don't need $1 billion to be happy.
No, of course
Definitely not.
not.
Right? So it's just a matter of like going to like maybe a better hotel, stuff like that. So that's the coolest part.
Yeah, of course.
We like good things when like, you have a nice house here.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
It's fun to live well. And that she raised my standards on that too, because I used to live in that shithole.
Yeah, I'm very snobby when it comes to like, but even though, we did live in not for like 9 months, we lived in a
that's why you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. So,
if it's not 5-star, I'll go.
Oh,
no,
I love it.
That's what I said.
I love it.
No, but I like nice hotels, nice
who doesn't?
restaurants.
Who doesn't?
Yeah,
Right?
Of course.
Yeah,
Girl,
that's a
you
good point.
have the money and the freedom to do it. Why the hell not? Why wouldn't you?
That's a good point. You said who doesn't? Like some people will kind of deny it because they know they can't do it.
Exactly.
So they're like, well, no, I prefer this hostel. No, bro, if I put you in a fucking bathtub with a nice cloth, like a cashmere, and
you like it better.
And you're gonna tell me you're not gonna love it?
You're gonna fucking snap the shit out of it. You're gonna love it. Like everybody loves it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Comfort is real. Like
of course.
So speaking of that,
Yes.
you increasing your lifestyle and having a better life than you had before, both of you together.
Yes.
Have you made friends and lose friends out of haters?
And
Okay.
has it attracted a lot of jealousy?
Yeah. Have you been exposed to that?
Want to say?
Well, some people I lost naturally just by moving to Thailand, and I realized that a lot of my connections and friendships were made on just let's go out and party. Like those were my friends, but it's not really real friends. Is that if that's all you do together?
Agreed.
So naturally, I just lost those people.
Good.
And the ones that stayed, I know they're the real ones. And as for haters, I mean we've had our good share, but it's normal when you become popular online or
Yes,
as an entertainer, as a fighter. It's just a normal procedure. You guys probably encountered that as well.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
A lot of it.
Who do you think they are having a podcast?
Exactly. I'm still fighting that.
Imagine.
Certain people.
Again, it comes down to the monkey analogy. Like they want to do a podcast, but they can't do it or whatever.
Well, like you said, people want more, right? So either like they're gonna try to get it, or they're gonna hate people that they see are getting more.
Because they wish they could do it themselves, but they want to so.
So good question.
Well, in I'm just gonna sum it up. In life, there's two types of people: people that make shit happen, and people that talk about it. So it's up to you. Up to you.
It's up to your choice.
Which
what you're gonna do, which road you're gonna go.
Exactly.
Yeah, true. So basically, I still have a good way to like keep in touch, even though we're not physically there. So it's fine for me, But I actually believe that we don't like real friendship is very rare.
Yeah, it is very rare. Yes.
So
we don't have that many.
That's one of the things that I learned in during all these years is I don't trust a lot of people.
I
came to that point too.
Same here. Same here.
I got screwed in like a manager and like I had to fire. Like it was like, and that seems to be a recurring thing, right? Even Tyson got screwed by his manager. A lot of people get screwed. So I don't. When it comes to money, it's tricky.
Oh my God,
right?
money is poison. Like it makes people go kook. Like it's crazy. It changes people
big time.
When I was young, my dad told me one line that always struck with me, and it's nobody does nothing for nothing.
Ooh,
so when you bring that mindset in every interaction that you have, people don't do shit for nothing. So, even someone that does volunteer work, you say, oh, they're so kind. They do it because it makes them feel good.
Absolutely, exactly.
As well, right?
That's a good point.
So
there's no such thing as selfless.
Yeah, we were talking about this. A lot of ideas. It was, do you think that there's anything like as selfless, like a selfless act? Let's say you give to charity, right? And you don't post it, right? Even intricate, like inside of you, you feel good.
Exactly. So you do it for you.
So it's not selfless, right?
No.
So it's selfish.
You would have to do it with no emotions, which won't happen.
True.
Because, otherwise you're
even let's say you don't know where you're giving the money at, you give like $2,000 to a charity.
It still feels
you
good.
still feel good.
Yes.
So that's a philosophical statement. Like I don't think there's such thing as selfless act because you always get something out of something.
What was the other example?
The other question is, and that's what I want to ask you guys.
Yeah,
because I'm very passionate about this.
Go for it.
you have two choices. Okay, you can think about it, and that's kind of crazy when you think about it. So let's say I give you the choice. You can kill someone, and as soon as you do, you forget about it for the rest of your life. You live, you don't know, but you had to kill a person, like an innocent person, like a mother walking outside. You have to kill, but as soon as you do it, you forget about it. Or you don't kill anybody, but you have to live the rest of your life thinking and seeing images that you did.
Ooh.
Well, I'd go with the forget, because if you forget, you don't know that experience happened.
But then you kill somebody.
True. Yeah,
but you forgot.
Yeah, but you kill somebody.
But you forgot.
I know, but that's...
But Matt, what he's saying, it doesn't... not everybody can actually kill somebody.
No, what we're saying is that's like...
No, but the mindset, right? So
it's a perfect example of a selfless act.
Yes.
The selfless act would be to not kill somebody. That's selfless, right? You're not taking the life of an innocent person and then taking a punishment yourself. So that's how selfless that is. Yeah.
And let's not lie, I would probably take the first one too. If you have you have to choose one of the two. Like live the next 7 years of your life thinking that you brutally murdered somebody.
It's horrible.
It's a hard question.
That is a hard question. Shit.
Well, that's why they do.
You didn't hesitate too much.
No, but that's why they do hypnotism, right? Hypnotism is to make you forget things. Yeah. So if you believe you didn't do it, then you don't live with guilt. You know.
But it comes down to the moment you're deciding. Either one. The moment you're deciding, you have to do something.
I was going at the afterward. After
obviously, it's easier to live forgetting, right? You didn't know, but in order at the time, you have to choose: do we kill? So it's like, oof, it's a hard question. I don't know. I don't know what I would say.
Yeah, no.
But I would probably incline to be cut. You know why though? And it's natural in humans. We
don't want to suffer.
On favorise. We value more our own self and well-being, and your well-being, and you would be unhappy living the rest of your life thinking that you killed somebody.
And,
well, it's like you said with your suicide pact, right? Yeah. So you would be unhappy without her, so you wouldn't see a point living any longer, right?
Yeah.
Because she brings that much joy in your life.
It's just like, fuck. So technically, that goes down to another thing. We don't know, and somebody that says that they know, people claim that they know, they're full of shit. Yeah. We don't know what's happening when we die, right? We don't know.
We don't.
The real, truthful, humble answer is we do not know.
No.
People say, oh, there's a hell, there's a heaven. Like, first of all, you're claiming this. Where's your proof?
Exactly.
Right? I'm big in reasoning. Like, I watch the Atheist podcast right now, and the guy is not even, he has a podcast and he's been this for 14 years. Matt Dillahunty. Okay. I'm going to go meet him one day because we have a gym in his city, but he doesn't talk about religion. He talks about reason. Just he values reason, and it's talk about like, where's your proof? You can't prove the Bible with the Bible. You can't prove the Quran. No. You have like, what's your other claim, right? Yep. So it's all about it. So we don't know what's the afterlife.
No, we don't.
Knowing that, I'm like, we have to make the best of this life right now. Yeah. Right. All right. So
and we don't know. Yeah.
So we don't know. Maybe there is. I'm not saying we don't know. There's so we don't know. So let's live the best of our life right now, and I can see, and maybe you're going to agree with me. It's kind of if we live like that, right? It could be depressing, thinking that whatever good feelings that you have, sensory pleasure, food, sex, whatever that we live right now, the proximity that we have in our relationship, is all going to go away as soon as you die. Right? Yeah. It's very depressing. So it's very depressing, and that comes down to,
and that's why people find comfort in religion.
Absolutely,
it's
comforting. It's
of
true.
Course.
But the real strength, and I post that on my Instagram, guys, go follow me. I said that's what I said. The real strength is to find, the true mental strength is to find happiness in a meaningless existence. Yeah. And when I say meaningless, meaning that we're gonna die and we cease to exist. Right. So that's, for me, it's kind of meaningless because whatever you do, unless it's recorded, maybe, but still recorded, it's gonna last 100 years and then that's it.
That's it.
And it kind of goes all the way. So does it really matter? Yeah. It doesn't really matter because it's all going to disappear.
It's so true.
Yeah. So then that comes down to, why don't we kill ourselves?
Yeah.
Because we did die now and die in 70 years. All the memories we're going to do in the next 70 years, they're going to die with us.
Yep.
So what does it matter to do more? Does it really matter to do more? So and I understand.
Yeah, I understand your mindset.
So my point is, that's why we decided to live this life, because we had, and I don't give a shit at what people are going to think, but in Thailand we had a talk, and I think it's very healthy, and I understand the situation with your dad, but I think it's very healthy to talk about suicide because it's a real thing.
Yes,
of course. And I have two of my friends that again hanged themselves in Thailand.
Wow,
it happens.
Yeah, I had a suicide in my family.
In your family, your grandfather as well. So it's very normal, and I think it's very taboo in our relationship, in society.
And in society to do that. Yes.
Yeah, but technically, it's not as crazy as we think, because we're all gonna die. I think the craziness of the taboo of suicide comes down to the fear of death.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
100% is actually going through it and doing it. 100%. Yeah.
What's so crazy about death? Like,
no, it's true.
Yeah, we're all gonna be there.
We are exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm making fucking mic drop statement here.
No, I love it.
Yeah, so
love it.
no, I'm not saying that life is meaningless, because we do find our own meaning,
course.
but my just that it will cease at one point.
Yeah, so you better enjoy it
so
now.
just enjoy
the moment,
the
present moment.
And
don't enjoy because nothing matters.
It's true. That's also a very good statement. Like, can we blame a guy born in Yemen right now with fucking bombs, and like he said, I don't want to live this shit. Like, or like we're lucky to live in Canada.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah. There's like it's like people think that life isn't just. Life is not supposed to be just. It is unjust. In the natural kingdom.
It's a man-made concept, justice or fairness. It's something that we came up with. It's not fair that they have nothing to eat. Well, is it fair that an alligator just ate a little baby animal?
True.
Yeah,
that's
guys,
what happens.
Go follow Nature is Metal on Instagram. Nature is Metal. It's all about like the rawness of life, like the fucking hyena grabbing the fucking. No, it's not.
No, but it's so true.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Like it's
like in your face.
Her and animals are gonna get her going.
Yeah, exactly.
But we love animals, though. We don't want to kill animals.
No, but it's just it's the real.
Yeah. So it's I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Like, if we go with the premise that, let's say, we don't know, therefore as what we know, there's nothing else. We have to make the best out of this. But even if we do make the best out of it, what for? Like Wikipedia, fucking who gives a shit about this, right? Like it's proven that like in a couple million years, the fucking Andromeda is gonna collide with the Voie lactée, and like the sun's gonna eat the entire thing. So even if we do like document everything, there's like we're all gonna die. And so
it's true.
So so it's a very crazy thought.
You're the best philosopher.
Yes.
Mind fuck
I
there.
love you guys.
So that's a mind fuck.
That's dope.
Yeah. Well, it makes a lot of sense to me. It's like, so we made a pact in Thailand. Was like, you know what?
Yeah. How did that happen?
So we said the pact happened afterwards. The first pact was like we're debating if we're gonna kill ourselves.
Were you drunk?
No.
I'm
just kidding. No. We're super lucid. Like we're actually debating. I remember where it was. I'm like, let's do it. Like why not? And we were like kind of emotional, and we're like. Well, maybe it's very powerful.
It wasn't just like, hey, let's kill ourselves. No, it was. We were talking about, the meaning of life. Why are we here? Where's this going? Like, what's even the purpose of staying? And one thing led to another, and we're like, why don't we just kill ourselves? But it wasn't like, it's not like we had our knives ready. Let's do this.
No.
It's like you went there mentally to think about
mentally,
it.
And you spoke of it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And just speaking about it it's very healthy, because it's otherwise
it's liberating. Because we're living in so much fear of death and so much. Oh my god, he died so young. Oh, poor him. But we're all gonna be there.
There anyways, regardless. That's life.
And so taking life less seriously and not being afraid of death so much, I guess, makes it easier to live and make something out of this, and have.
And you're right. And by saying that, like people, like instead by owning this, you're not like engaging into a delusion or engaging into like, because I know, for example, I'm not gonna name any names in my entourage or whatever people I know. It's like you I have a shitty life. Well, I have I have other things coming for me, or maybe I have another life. Maybe in Buddhist they think in reincarnation. Like if you think like that, you're not living your best life right now. You're thinking that you're gonna have another chance. So
you're not making the most of present moment.
This life.
Yeah. So it's kind of an unhealthy habit to go to comforting ideologies.
And it's in a way, in those people that say, maybe this life is meant to be as a lesson, and I'm going to have another life to, like, I don't know, reincarnation, whatever. In a way, that's not taking responsibility for your own life and your own decisions, and giving the responsibility for some supreme being that's teaching you a lesson. And we
don't know. It could be true, but we don't know.
It could be, exactly.
The real position is we don't know.
But why not take control of your life and say, you know what, if I'm living a shitty life, it's totally my fault. I got myself here, and I'm going to get myself out of it.
And you're the only person that can. Nobody else can do it. You have to take that action.
Exactly. As scary as it may be.
That's one of the things we in Dubai, right? It was people saying inshallah. right? Like if Dieu le veut, if God wants it, I'm like, no, you're my taxi driver. I'm gonna be there at 12.
Yeah.
Inshallah. No. That's if God wants it. I want to be there at 12. You know, like
so that's
don't fuck with me.
No, so that was
No
probably
God
a challenge
today.
living in Dubai then for you guys because
Well,
that it's so
but
cultural.
Dubai,
so
it's a theme park. It's
Okay.
there's no people dressed in the burqa.
No?
It's all
Well, there
tourism.
are some.
One out of the rest is like there's literally prostitutes there.
Yeah.
Really?
It's there's drugs, alcohol, prostitutes. It's just
Interesting.
very
Okay.
hush hush, but the government kind of closes the eyes.
I'm gonna
and
they're
lets
gonna
it
revoke
roll.
my after saying this. They're gonna revoke my.
Oh, you would never be able to say that in Dubai. They're
No.
they're
protective of
they're
their
very
place.
There's a
protective
murder
of the news.
and they don't put it in the news.
wow.
wow.
It's everything has to be clean speaking Spanish.
Yeah, they're trying to show that
Yeah.
image of the
Yeah.
perfect place
Exactly.
and the perfect,
Yeah. Well, nothing. You know, if it's too good to be true, it's
too good to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like there's a lot of bars people drink. So
Yeah.
it's like a theme park. It's isolated. If you go outside of Dubai, you see the real
Yeah.
Mediterranean, Middle East, right?
Yeah.
So it's very business. There's a lot of money there. So anyway, that's for me. That's when you think I want to be there at 12 and you don't take a responsibility. You say, well, if God wants it. That's for me. That's like no, take responsibility in your life, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Just press on the gas, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No
you
God there. It's
you
easy.
can do it.
Press on the gas.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, being a top athlete that you are,
Yes.
how do you balance your love life, your personal life, your friendship, and what's your daily routine, and how do you keep up with being that world champ that you are?
Okay. Well, one easy way is I don't have a lot of friends.
That takes that out.
That's a big part, and most of my friends are fighting with me. So
Okay.
it's
Why?
So it's friends that
If
have the
it's-
same interests
yeah.
as you.
But my
So-
friends, yeah, exactly. And that's the best part, right? So
Right.
and we're always together. So that's we wake up and we sleep. So
Yeah.
we're always together. And yeah, that was the question, right? So basically,
So how do you
it?
balance everything in your life, being
Well,
a top athlete that you are?
Knowing that most people don't do nothing. Don't do something for nothing, right?
Yeah.
Knowing that
They don't do nothing
You
for
erase a
nothing,
lot of
yeah.
people in your life,
Yeah.
and so I don't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You have to really have to like gain my trust,
Yeah.
and then with my wife, well, we have her pack, so we're always together. So
Yeah.
it's quite easy, to be honest. Yeah, good point.
Nice.
And yeah, we travel all the seminars.
Yeah.
Irina's a big part of it. Like she has a beautiful calligraphy, and she
Oh,
writes all
cool.
the certificates because we give certificates at the end. Of, so
Nice.
I couldn't write it, so I just signed it.
Well,
at the
your
end.
fighting
Boom.
hands are a bit
Yeah.
dry. So
And
it was-
I'm wet, and I'm like, so yeah. What's the biggest? In Poland, you had to
Oh
do
my God.
120 certificates.
Poland. You guys have been everywhere.
Yeah.
We did a big European tour, North American tour. Yeah, one of the biggest ones was I think close
Warsaw.
to 120. It took me like 3 hours to finish that. The entire seminar, I was just doing the.
She writes the name of
certificate.
everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So we're really a team when we come down to
Yeah.
seminar.
Exactly.
The Duc Lethwei, it's like it's us, right?
It's you.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. So right before you're going to a fight, you're mentally preparing. Are you right there, like beside him, and like being like,
Come on,
like,
babe, you can do this.
And like, is there something that you need from her right before you're going on to fight?
Well,
Sex, I don't
we
know.
have a little routine.
Okay.
No,
yes.
no. Well, we've had
At first,
sex
I
is
was
not a-
superstitious, and
Yeah.
I became non-superstitious because again, it comes down to giving that power to something else. I used to have those same boxers and the same everything, and that's bad.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, they say not to like sleep together
yeah,
the night
that was a
before, but
superstition.
Yeah.
no.
Actually, having sex and
we
like,
broke that rule and he still won. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you serious?
Yeah, like,
I never even knew that was a rule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like in the Olympics, they say girls
Yeah, they say
should have
that.
sex because it gives them a boost.
Okay.
Guys,
Guys,
it drains
it
your
pushes-
testosterone or something,
Yeah,
right? I don't
yeah.
know why,
But I actually think if you look at like actually coming gives you more testosterone. Like,
Yeah, it gives you a boost, yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a boost. So you might feel sleepy the first couple.
well, that's just the after
Yes.
hormones.
But the next day you're good to go.
Yeah.
Come on.
she's like, "This is ridiculous."
Yeah, I can't even. I never even heard that before.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, in
Okay,
the
so-
Olympics, they say there's no girls allowed in hotels. Like you're not allowed to have girls
No
if you're a male. Yeah.
way.
Wow.
Did you know that?
Well, I know there was kind of this taboo thing about
Yeah.
like don't.
Oh, and the
sleep
girls
together
are
or
not
something,
supposed
or-
to touch not the Pentagon. What's it called?
The ring.
The
The
ring.
rope.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's a superstition as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're there, and so you're right there beside the ring before you go on.
She has her VIP spot all the time. That's part of the deal.
Oh, yeah.
She's next.
We have a little routine going on when he's fighting. You know, that's one of the times where I just keep my distance. I don't like get too much in his face, and
Okay.
I just I stay calm. I don't really I keep to myself most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, where I'm there, but I'm not all over.
You're not
him.
all over him. You're
Yeah.
giving him a space so he can mentally prepare on his own.
So he just knows you're behind if there's anything.
If he needs you.
Exactly.
Yeah, because seeing her there calms me down just to see her. She doesn't have to talk.
Okay. Love it. Perfect.
And, what else? The like I used to have a ring and I kissed my ring. I gave it to her. Like but I just stopped all that bullshit.
So just like fighting. You put your mindset.
Well, you still do the warrior cry.
Yeah, but that's not a superstition.
No.
The warrior cry is something I do, and it's kind of weird. It's I go in a corner and I scream.
Okay,
cool.
It boosts.
It primes you up.
My hair goes high, and I it's and
are they afraid over there?
Yeah.
Did they freak out over there?
No,
when
because
they see
I have my own. I have my own like room, right? So I just scream, and it's not long. It's just like it just boosts my
boosts you up.
The adrenaline comes in, right, and everything. So it's really a part of my. But that's like that shit is a physical repercussion on me doing this, right?
Like puts you in a mood.
Yeah, and my heart's pumping already. I'm not even in the ring, so it's physical.
So doing that, or you like fighting? Are you sometimes afraid of failure because she's there? So you don't want to fall in front of her, right?
Well, good question. Because the first when we won the deal was to get the wedding paid by the promoter, right?
Yes.
It was like you're winning the belt, you get married. Well, what if I lose?
Then exactly.
The wedding would probably still happen.
Yes,
but there wasn't be 30 million viewers.
I wanted to marry a champion, not a fucking loser.
That's it.
So that was a lot.
So that was a lot of pressure.
I don't think
for
she
you.
would care because she loves you as you are.
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like ever since we've been together, I don't want to. I try to remove. I don't want to knock on wood anymore because that's fucking bullshit too.
Right?
Well, it's plastic, so you can.
But basically, I never lost since we met.
Amazing!
Nice, awesome.
Yes. So let's continue that. When's your next fight?
Yeah,
that's supposed to be next year.
Okay. Yeah. And where do you know whereabouts? Can you say?
In Denmark, Copenhagen.
Dope.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool.
So speaking about that, so you're spreading the Lethwei around the world. I think you spoke to UFC to try to do something with them.
Yeah, but now the Lethwei fights are on UFC Fight Pass. It's the biggest fighting app in the world.
And that was because of you.
Yeah, with
awesome.
WLC. So we work hard at this.
Yeah.
I went to Myanmar and we presented all the promoters, right, to get because it's not as easy as getting the fight. Right? You need a live stream. It needs to have good internet to live stream. It needs to be HD. It needs to be really well done. Like, so we had to get that logistic up and running, and just like big generators to get the Wi-Fi up and running. It's fucking crazy. But then there's so people can go on UFC Fight Pass and watch Lethwei fights in HD, which was unbelievable back then. Yeah. If you go on YouTube, when I used to find out about Lethwei, it was black and white, grainy videos, right? Yeah. Now we're coming. So
quality's coming. Yeah. Full HD, 4K.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's the I'm fighting for the WLC right now, the World Lethwei Championship, and we're working hard.
Nice.
Yeah. But spreading the word is mostly about like my brand, the Leduc Lethwei brand. We're affiliating schools around the world. So we did like a few places where we do seminars. Not to brag, but they fucking love it. So
of course they do.
Yeah. Everywhere we go, they say this is the best seminar I've ever had in my life. Everywhere.
Amazing.
But you're very gifted. Like he's very good at teaching. You know, you can be a very good fighter.
Agreed.
But you're not able to like share it with other people.
Share that knowledge and share. Yes.
Dave is like so gifted. He's just so good and so charismatic. And I've been to every single one of his seminars, and I still watch. I can't. But I'm still like watching it, and I'm into it, and the time passes so fast, even though I've seen it so many times.
Wow.
It's a 3-hour seminar.
Really good at it.
So,
amazing.
But everybody after that, they want to be like, okay, let's get affiliated with you. Okay, really cool to see that love. And now we have a school affiliated in Reykjavik, Iceland. We did 2 seminars there already.
That's awesome.
One in Manhattan, New York, not too far from us.
Yes.
Austin, Texas, and LA, Los Angeles.
Dope.
So California.
So
that's 4 for now. We're kind of like blueprint, try to see how it works.
Okay.
Once we see how it works, we're gonna open it to the world, and hopefully we're gonna have like over 200 schools, 300 schools around the world. That's the goal.
Yes, that's the goal.
It's crazy how you guys are just from here, and then you're like, the sky's the limit. It doesn't stop.
It's kind of crazy, and I spoke about this on the High Geek podcast, right? With Rock. I said it's kind of crazy that everything, like not everything, because obviously the biggest part was you, like basically like pushing me to greatness, but everything started in Gatineau here, training my headbutts with Sifu, and you know, like, and we're kind of changing the entire world right now, fighting sports. and we're from the hometown Gatineau, so it's kind of cool. Like we when we think about our country or our province, we don't think about like even just Canada, not even
Gatineau,
Quebec.
You don't think very highly of Gatineau.
You don't think, not a lot of things
general,
happening, right?
No, I agree.
Yeah. So no, that's awesome.
That's fun.
Congrats on that. Seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm super
good
impressed
for you.
when I see you go.
Thank you.
I said, I met you in bars and I knew you from here, and then I see you go, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And
Yeah, you can fight too, man.
Oh yeah, you have some
a few
stories.
things.
No.
Reserve that for another time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know you have something at 9 o'clock. So
Yeah,
keep that
we'll
in.
slowly wrap it up, but we have 10 minutes.
10 minutes. So you have your own vodka company or vodka brand called Vodka Light, which
Vodka
is
Light. You got yours. You can celebrate something.
Thank you.
Maybe.
Yes,
When's
thank
your
you.
anniversary?
Our anniversary is
coming
coming. Well,
so because we got married, engaged, we have different dates, right? So
When did you guys meet first? Do you know the date you meet, or you don't celebrate?
yes, so it was the first.
no, the first date we met, love.
Oh, the first date we
don't
met.
remember that.
Shit, it was in like January or something.
Yeah.
So which one do you celebrate?
So, when I asked her to be my girlfriend, it was 1st of August. Then we got married the 4th.
Did you give her a paper with like a square to the X? Like,
No,
yes, no.
we
You
were
want to be
actually
my
in
girlfriend?
No, we were in my 1-bedroom condo. It was a small place, and we were on the balcony, and we were just having a good night. Like, we used to just listen to music, chill, watch the stars, and drink some teas. And that day I was like, hey, would you want to be my girlfriend?
Oh, that's cute. That's
right over there. I said,
So
I'll just
cute.
spit it out, right?
That's fucking cute.
And she said yes. I was like, yes.
So cute.
Yes.
Good job.
It's official now. We can start building something.
Yeah.
And, a little bit like you guys, we came from, nothing. Like she comes from nothing. She worked hard her whole life to build up.
Yeah.
I come from a family where my dad was not very fortunate. So I had to, build up my own things.
Yeah.
And then we started from the condo, then we kept the condo, then we got the house, and then, we built and then we pushed and we're like, go,
You have a really cool place here, man. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
So,
Gorgeous
you
house.
very
and you together, like, you're wonderful. Your energy is good. And
Couple goals.
Really, look who's talking.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
but you guys made us think of us, so in a way we were all excited to talk about you guys, and that's why I wanted to do a podcast, which is different than your usual fighting podcast, which it really brings you two together and your story as a couple. And
I'm happy because I don't get to talk about all these metaphors and life because
It was different.
Well, I didn't want it to be boring for you too, because you get to talk about the same shit all the time. It's like,
I'm getting good at it though.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
But what really passionate people don't think about that, like Lethwei fighter uses headbutts people, but for me, I don't define myself as that alone, right? I like I don't know. I just watch a lot of stuff, and I really try to.
You're way more than just a fighter, for sure.
Yeah, I try to understand. Like for me, passion means like purpose here. It's fucking crazy,
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, and we kind of put that in the back of our mind because we're just living and we're working and we're doing this, but like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a bunch of, as what we know, it's a bunch of accidents. Like fuck, man.
Yeah. No, seriously. So
Sorry, we were going to the Vodka Light.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, this is you guys' chance to plug in your projects, how people can reach you out for yourself, your practice into counseling women. For you, like you have your own vodka brand, obviously, Vodka Light, which is
so if people want to go, it's in all the SAC in Quebec. So it's over all the SAC SAQs in Quebec. They can get the vodka. If it's not there, you can just ask them and they'll order it. Okay. And so it's local made like Gatineau vodka, so we can be proud of our vodka. People watching from here. Otherwise, it's like a province of Quebec. All the grain is from here, like from a local farm with like a really attentive farmers, and we make their own vodka and we make it here. And it's different. It's 30% instead of 40%, so it's smooth.
Why?
And,
why the 30? Why lower it?
It was a good idea from Pierre Manta. Pierre Manta is the founder of Art Distillery in Gatineau, and he has obviously like many brands and make gin and a bunch of things. And I like the Vodka Light idea because he said that's how it all started. He started with Vodka Light, then opened a bunch of other ones. But it's like, because he's not a big drinker himself. Okay. He's like, when I drink, I wouldn't go bar. I'm like, can you put less vodka or like, or you put it now. Yeah. So
an ounce
and then you end up drinking juice. Exactly. So he's like, so now I can put the same amount, the same ounce, but still feel like I'm drinking. Still feel like I'm drinking. So you can put like the same amount of juice, now a full ounce, right? Yeah. And but just like less calorie as well. It's really it's 25% less calorie. So it's
clean
like,
ingredients.
Yeah, the idea is to go with that's why I partners to go with like active people. So not all fighters, but just active people that they want to drink but still keep the shape. So yeah.
Nice.
So as we age, I said I'm 28, but as we age, right, we don't want to do like we used to do in the bars all the time. It comes with
more responsible.
Yeah, exactly. But if we do, it's like some people say there's less hangover on this. So because it's like more light. So yeah.
Have you tried to go overboard with it?
No, not overboard. No. We had a big party at the series.
And people have gone overboard with it.
They were tipsy. So it's possible to get tipsy, guys. Drink with moderation.
Yes.
So that's the thing. But yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. And for yourself, for people who wants to reach out to you for women for counseling.
Just follow me on Instagram, Irina Baramba TE.
Underscore TE.
How do you say in Russian?
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Черточка внизу.
I love it.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So just DM me and we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Other than that, people who are interested in your seminars or your fighting,
they can just follow me on Instagram, King Leduc, and we have all this stuff from there. Like the obviously right now we can't do seminars because it's closed down.
Yes.
Obviously.
But I'm focusing on my online academy with Leduc Lethwei, so people teaching from online from home. So that's the focus.
Perfect.
And the affiliates around the world. So. And you guys have our invitation to come see us in Cyprus anytime.
No, we're going to come for sure. It looks like a great opportunity.
We have a sauna too there, so
nice.
You won't be too out of home.
Out of home.
Because guys, they have a nice spot here. They have sauna here, they have everything. So
we work for it, right? We're like you guys. We're hustlers, right? Yeah. We keep going. Yeah. We don't stop. So
so it comes down to like one of the things I wanted as not take life too seriously. That's one of the things I understood. Like and for me that when I spoke to you about my mindset about life, right?
Yeah.
Kind of takes away all the pressure. Because if you know you're gonna die, if you know that nothing matters in a way, it kind of takes a lot of pressure away, and it kind of takes all the heaviness of the haters, right, or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter.
No.
You're right.
It really took away a big weight off my shoulders when I realized that whatever I do, whatever I say, I could have a shit interview right now. I could make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
I could have.
We would just cut that part.
You've got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
But that's it. Like what you're saying is like
don't take it too seriously.
Not take it too seriously because like
that's a great
at the
advice.
End of the day, no, but it's true though. It's really good.
People do take themselves too seriously,
and then they fuck up and they're like, oh my god,
anxiety.
And
fuck, man, nothing matters in a way. So
true.
Like obviously, I'm not in preaching for people to do like mass murder. Obviously,
no, of course not.
But for all we know, they die and they probably go to the same spot as us. I'm not saying that we should do that. Obviously, I want, and it goes down to well-being, right? We need, everybody's good in good life. But fuck. Yeah, that's another podcast we can do.
For sure.
For sure. Do one from Cyprus, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god,
I have a mobile setup too that I can bring with the mics and
that'd be
everything
nice.
and the camera. Look, it's right there.
Okay.
So that's portable mic.
Wow, perfect.
Can do all sort of things with that.
Well, thanks for having us, guys. You guys are wonderful.
You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much.
We need to
you are
talk
inspiration for people.
Yes, a lot of
power couple.
100%.
You have a great philosophy.
I appreciate that. But everybody, I always say, people ask me in the interviews, like, who inspires you? Who do you like? Who's your idol? And you go, I always say, nobody, because we're all humans and we all go to the toilet. We all have diarrhea. We all, like
I don't have diarrhea.
You girls don't. I don't imagine you guys having it. I understand, but me and Matt happens sometimes. But
in Thailand, right? we had our fair share of.
Did you?
Yeah,
I thought I was gonna die. But
they have those amazing pills.
I thought you didn't do that.
One pill, it's done. Go to the pharmacy, one pill, it's done. It's crazy. Better than our fucking Imodium and shit we buy here.
Because there's no prescription. You can buy everything.
We love that.
You can buy steroids.
I know.
It's crazy. I asked them for fun. I walked in. I said I want steroids. It's catalog. They bring them. I'm
everything.
Like, okay, that's how it works here.
Yeah,
interesting. It's different, right?
For sure.
So before we finish, any advice for our listeners? Life advice. Things that you want to add up and share to the world. Anything.
We've already given plenty.
Yes, that's it.
Life is only real when shared. Don't take life too seriously. We're all gonna die. Try to have fun doing it. Try to have fun, and don't take it too seriously. That's
that's a great advice. All right, well,
and anything is possible. I was going to go with this.
That's true.
Like I said, like anything's possible, meaning that I don't idolize anybody because we're not special. It's just about like traumas and who wants what. So if you have a goal, you want to do something, do it. Nothing's gonna really. It's cheesy, but it's fucking true.
Of course it is, because look at you, and then look at you moving. To, you know what I mean?
You just gotta find a way, right? You start finding a mentor, somebody who traces the path that you can ask advice. How can I follow you? And then it starts happening on its own. Before you know it, right?
Yeah, I love you. I love your angle for the podcast, and I wish you guys a lot of good capsule. But it's not gonna be this one anymore. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. Okay. All right, listeners. Ciao.
Bye.
Dave Leduc, Irina T. Check them out.
Yeah.
Peace.